All right, mic check 1 2 1 2.
Yo,
Mic
yo,
check.
Mike, I hear you.
All right, sounds great. All right, welcome back to the Black Brain Trust. This is Black Kart Talk, episode 277. Here, my co-facilitator, Complex Design.
What it do?
All right. Please hit the like button as you come in. Share the video if possible. Hit that notification bell again so that you get all the updates from the Black Brain Trust as usual. Tonight's Car Talk is actually about your favorite four bangers. So four banger means 4-cylinder engine for those you are not in the know.
Yeah, where are my import guys at?
There's so many four bangers out there, man. It's hard to choose because there was so many cars that have come and go throughout the years that you typically would actually not really think of. I mean, the most common one is the VTEC.
Mhm.
Everybody loves the VTEC. Everybody either had one or they just lust over it. For me, I don't particularly have a favorite four banger, but there are. If I had to say one, I would probably say it was the Boxer, man, for the Subaru Impreza WRX STI.
Man, I'll tell you right now, it's gotta start with the 4AG, the 4AGE Corolla, the Hachiroku, right? The Corolla, the 85 through, was it 84, 85 through 87 Corolla?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's to me, that's kind of like the start of the four-cylinder revolution, because that was I don't want to say that car was the first, but in my mind it kind of is the first uh four-cylinder based sort of compact car that kind of started a performance pedigree. You know, I think the only other car that we can look to, and we would have to go back to the giant killer, as they called it, the Datsun 510. You know, that Peter Brock used to run back in, you know, the early and mid 70s in the you know, I think it was SCCA Trans Am series. I mean, he was running the Datsun 510 against Trans Ams and, you know, all these V6s and V8s, and he was killing them because of the horsepower to weight ratio and the balance characteristics in the chassis. So I think it starts there, and then we get to the mid 80s with the Toyota Corolla, the GTS, the 4AG, or the 4AG. I'm trying to remember the
Twin
motor
cam.
doesn't. Yeah, that's the one.
Yep.
You know, and then from there we get into the 90s with the Honda. You know, the B15, the B16A, the B16B, the B18, the B18. Then you had the
SR20.
Right, SR20, SR20 DT. For wait, maybe I'm saying it wrong, because the Mitsubishi was the gosh, that was a I'm trying to remember the motor designation for that. We got to get Ty City and a few others on.
Yeah, Super Triz might know. Super Triz, you know.
The 4G 63T.
The 4G 63. That's it right there.
Yeah, 63.
Yeah, that was in the Galant VR4.
Right. It was that, and it was in the Eclipse, the Turbo Eclipse.
Oh, and it was that engine was bulletproof in the Eclipse.
Yeah.
One of the great engines of that era for sure.
Yeah, Eagle Talon.
Oh yeah, the Eagle Talon, man. Yeah, I remember those definitely.
Yeah. That matter of fact, like I was in California. Complex, you from California too, right?
He's on mute.
Yes, sir. Yep. Uh-oh. Can Triz hear me?
Super Triz?
Okay, he dropped out. Yeah. I was here during that whole time, man.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, I'm here, man. I was here during that whole time, man, when the import scene, like from the underground to the time it blew up with Hot Import Nights and all that.
Oh yeah.
I used to be on Van Buren and Milliken. Up and down Van Buren, up and down Milliken. That's where all the street races was at on Van Buren, because it was like a mile between each stop, like damn near 2 miles between each stoplight.
You talking about out in like Ontario?
Yes.
Van Buren, shit, you might have seen me out there. I was out there.
Hey, did you ever see a supercharged SHO Taurus 1999 supercharged? I had a custom supercharger on it, SHO Taurus, the V8 99 version.
Dude, that's so long ago, man. I saw so much shit out there. But I was out there, bro. You was out there at that time?
I was the only person that had a Ford Taurus with a hood scoop and was running that motherfucker, man.
Damn.
I can only imagine that Super Triz had OZ wheels on there.
Wow. Listen. I done got smoked a couple of times. If you was out there, you probably saw me got smoked. You know, I kind of got aspirational. I tried to race. I'm getting off subject, but I tried to race a Trans Am, and I'm talking about I got laughed off of Van Buren.
Damn. Yeah, dude. I was at the time. I was running with a crew called Cybertech, so it was all Hondas.
Oh, did you guys wear the Cybertech jackets?
Dude, we had a Cybertech jacket. We were the only crew called Cybertech. So if you remember, dude, that was us.
So you know, we used to wear Cybertech jackets, all of us. We used to go down to Melrose to get the Cybertech jackets, and we would come back in Inland Empire and wear them.
Man, was you faking the funk, man?
Yeah, I was faking the funk.
Yeah, no, dude, yeah, it was all Hondas, man. And the main dude, this cat named Jeff, man, he used to go to school with a homie of mine who was running. Well, he was the only dude that was running a Nissan. Like a homie of mine, still my homie to this day, man. He had a Sentra, SER. So he was running the SER 20DE. And this fool went, he turboed it on his own, dude. But they went to school together, and that's how I met them. And I had a Honda, and so like I was like their first customer when they opened up the shop, dude. They did my suspension, my wheels, did everything for me, man. And yeah, dude, like from that point on, I was out there in them streets with them, bro.
Yeah, I went to Quest Performance and got my stuff, got my work done. Actually, I went to a guy. I want to say he was in Loma Linda. This guy, he was a custom fabricator. He made custom fiberglass fabricators, and I told him that I needed a hood scoop because basically I got a supercharger. Well, basically I found some guys online. This was back in the early infancy of online, and they basically had made a schematic to take a supercharger off of a Pontiac, what's the name of that? Pontiac Grand Prix, and retrofit it to a Ford Taurus SHO. So I went to the junkyard and got I ended up getting a supercharger from a Bonneville, which is, they use the same engine. I got a Bonneville supercharger, and I took it to Quest Performance with the schematic, and I had to buy some additional stuff because there was like other stuff they had to get it to fit. Anyways, they put the supercharger from a Bonneville on my SHO with stock internals. And then the thing about it was when they did it, the hood, because the way the hood was, there was no clearance because it wasn't designed for a supercharger. So they had to cut a hole in my hood. So I had a hole in my hood with this little supercharger. So I then had to go to the fiberglass place. And this when I was working 7 days a week. I was spending money like crazy. And he custom made me a fiberglass seamless. So there was no seam on it at all. And so it looked like the car was like, everybody in that area knew me because I was the only person with a car like that. And people would be surprised. They'll try to race me, and I was smoking Hondas left and right. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, fam?
Hey.
Yeah, it's interesting that Super Trish is rocking those jackets, man, kind of like CB4, man.
Yeah, I was faking it.
Yeah, let's get
Hey, Mike, real quick, I'm gonna send the link out to one more person.
Go ahead. Yeah, okay. Let's get Triple X in there. What was your favorite four banger?
Oh man, so many to mention, man. It's too many to mention, man.
Got one on top of your head, man?
Yeah. That eclipse that we were just talking about, man. That eclipse was just dynamite, man. You know, dynamite. I would say that Neon SRT4.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a killer, man. That was a killer. I remember I used to race those in my Mustang all the time. I got beat up a few times with those, man.
They used
Those
to
were great.
walk those Hondas, man. They used to walk Hondas on a reg, man. Those and the what is it? The Dodge Caliber with the four-cylinder turbo.
Four-cylinder. Yeah, the Dodge Caliber.
SRT4 Caliber.
Yeah, SRT4 Caliber.
I mean,
was that a 2.4? Was that a 2.4 or 2.5? I think it was 2.4.
It was a
2.4, yeah.
2.4.
Yeah, but if you was running against an all-motor Civic, right? It was like, yeah. But see, the thing is, all-motor status, what was outside of a rotary, like an old school RX-7, what was fucking with a Honda?
Oh, but I tell you what though, you want to talk about all-motor? The greatest all-motor four-cylinder, I gotta give it to the Honda S2000. That all-motor, because that thing was 2 liters and it put out, like, I want to say the first generation put out 200. I think it was 237 horsepower.
Yeah,
dude,
like
the VTEC
horsepower. Yeah.
Yeah, the VTEC cam load, the VTEC cam load on the VTEC cam. Okay, that shit damn near acted. That shit damn near acted like a turbo.
Yeah.
Once you went above 5,000 revs, it was like a whole different cam profile kicked in, and it was like the motor went from Dr. Jekyll to Mr. Hyde, or Mr. Hyde to Dr. Jekyll, or whichever way. You know what I mean? But that was the thing about it. But I gotta shout out one of the fucking Honda pioneers in SoCal, a brother from Nigeria by the name of BZ Ezeriola. I don't know if y'all know this cat, but this dude is a legend in Honda circles. He was a mechanical, or he's a chemical engineer. See, so he used to engineer. He took the B15 Super Triz, not even the single cam VTEC motor in the CRX. We're talking about the carbureted B15 version. And this dude ended up running 9-second quarter miles with that shit, carbureted.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, like the dude, I'll dig his website up and post him. This is a brother.
So I'm guessing he put a turbo on it, a big turbo.
No. We're talking all motor, bro. Because
all motor.
When we were running,
you talking about Bizimoto?
Bizimoto, that's him. BZ Ezeriola, dude.
Bizimoto is a legend. It's all motor, but his turbo game is crazy.
No, that's what I mean. This dude is he's a tuning genius. The thing was that he got his rep up because he was smoking dudes with a B15, with a single cam B15 CRX motor. All he did, dude, he tore that thing down and he re-engineered the internals. This dude was running, put it like this, dude, the valve train, the springs, the valve train, all that in the head, dude, it was all motorcycle shit.
But I'm guessing. I mean, he had to have stripped because you know what? There is a guy in California. I know it's not the same guy. He stripped. I don't even know if this was street legal. He completely stripped out his. He had a CRX. Matter of fact, or was it a Del Sol? I think it might have. No, I'm pretty sure it's a CRX. He had a CRX, the old CRX, and he completely stripped it out. So like the CRX was already light. You know, so if you strip it out, you could probably get the CRX to under 2,000 pounds.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. That's what we did, because what we did was so for a while it was so the shop that I was a part of. So I was at Cybertech, and then when I moved to the San Fernando Valley, I was with a shop called AMS, All Motorsports. So basically between us, Jeremy Lukowski, this dude who ran with I'm trying to remember the name of the shop. I think it was Dark Side Motoring. I'm not sure. But his name's Jeremy Lukowski. So it was us, Jeremy, and BZ. And BZ, so we ran a 1.6 liter all motor Honda. But what we did was, Honda made these pistons for boat motors, right? And they would fit into the 1.6 liter D16 block. Okay, they fit into the D16 block, but they had a higher dome on them. You see, so when we got halfway down the track, dude, it was like, man, once we were high up on the revs with that extra compression, we was eating cats alive, and they was wondering where we were getting the pistons, or like what we were doing. But we were getting them. Our sponsor was Good. You remember Good Performance? Gude?
No, I'm not familiar with that one.
He's this dude named Bill Good. And what he used to do was he used to build outboard racing motors for racing boats. And so what he ended up doing was he ended up parlaying that business into the import performance scene because no one knew that Honda made a same size piston for the D16, but for a boat application that had a completely different dome design. See, so on the low, we was running some pistons no one knew about. The only other cat who had like some way out other tricks under their sleeve was Beezy, and he was running Kibble White motorcycle valves, springs, and a couple other components in his head, dude. It was a crazy thing back in the day, man.
I remember Good Gude.
Yeah, Good Performance.
I remember seeing advertisements for them in old issues of Super Street.
Yeah, both
like, what is this Good? Yeah, my buddy actually had a Good cam in his D16 back in the day. He had a D16 Civic that he used to take up to the races whenever we go. And he had like a fully built motor and everything, Good cam. I don't know what kind of pistons though. Actually, I think he had Grand Vitara pistons from a Suzuki.
Okay.
Yeah, Grand Vitara was the other option that they had that was good with the single cams. The single cams actually make more lower end power than the dual overheads.
Yeah, that's true. I read about a guy who put a turbo D15 in his EF Civic hatch, and he was making 300 pound-feet of torque. And I was like, "What the fuck? How is that even?"
The single cams. I had an EK hatch, and I was one of the first people to put an H22 with a D series transmission together. This was back in the day.
Prelude motor?
Yeah, I had an H22A, and it was attached to a D series transmission. But
now, how did you made it though?
It's crazy. That combination was crazy.
How did you made it? Did you do an adapter plate?
Street car to drive around. That combination was just the gear ratios, and it was almost perfect.
Yeah, you'd have to go with an adapter plate to make a D series transmission to an H series block.
Right.
But you know what? Now, were you guys much into the Frankenstein motors? So, like for instance, like you had dudes that would slap a Type R. They would slap a B18C Type R head onto a B18A block.
Right. Yeah, LSV Tech.
Yeah, the LSV Tech stuff.
Huh? Yeah, LSV Tech. Yeah.
I was big down here in Texas too. The LSV Techs.
Yeah. You put a VTEC head on a LS block because the bore and stroke on the LS block was different than the VTEC Type R on the Type R blocks.
I think the LS, because I had 3 of them or 2 of them, and the LS had an 1834 cc block, and like the GSR had a 1796 I think cc, and same with the Type R.
Yep.
Can I throw a wild card in here? The Chevy Cobalt SS.
Oh yeah.
Yes, 260 foot-pounds of torque at 2,000 RPMs.
So
I can forget that one.
Ecotech.
So badass.
It's an Ecotech.
Ecotech. Yeah, hey, I want to throw one out there.
Oh yeah, there were 2 of them because I think the first one was like a supercharged one.
The other one's turbo.
I think they had like some type of emissions issue where they couldn't meet emissions for like the following year, and they had to drop it, and then they came back with a because they dropped it, they came out with a Cobalt Sport, and then they came back later on with another SS, but this time that one was one that was turbocharged.
Yeah, my buddy had the supercharged one and the turbo one.
I got all the wild cards tonight.
Yeah. Hey,
I
think the Ariel Atom uses the supercharged engine for a little bit.
let me throw out one. 1988 Thunderbird 4-cylinder turbocharged turbo coupe, man.
That was a 2.3, right?
Yep, 2.3.
I remember those.
Man,
Yeah,
that
the
was a
Mustang.
pretty car.
That's the old Mustang.
Tractor.
Who has the wild card?
I got all the wild cards. Let me know when y'all ready for the wild cards.
I'm ready.
All right. First things first. The 4G63 is the greatest, most proven four-cylinder ever.
Hold on, which one? Better than the Mitsubishi?
That's why I said the 4G63.
No, that's the one.
Oh, the 4G63. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I got you. Yeah.
That engine has been pretty much the same from 1979 all the way up until like maybe they started adding MyVec and stuff to the block. That block has pretty much been the same.
Okay, I have to counter that.
Wait. From rally racing to track racing to time attack to street, there is no more proven engine than the 4G63 when it comes to
counter. I have to counter that, bro.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
The Toyota 4AG, that was everything from a grocery getter and a Corolla to a goddamn Formula Atlantic.
Hey, I have one real quick. I noticed no one mentioned this, but I'm just gonna bring out the K20A from Honda.
Well, no, we were talking about Hondas, but see, the K20 is that's a newer motor. So that motor has a newer design. When you look at the 4AG63, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
what is it? The 4G63 and then the 4AG from the Toyota. Dude, those motors go back to the late 70s, early 80s. Their initial designs. Like,
I understand that, but the it's just from that time of even just being applied to different cars for so long. The 4AG is not. It's a legend in its own right, but the 4G is just. It's dominated for a long time.
There was a time limit on because the K20 came out in 2003 or 2002, actually 01. So it's been out for a little while, like 18 years.
Yeah, but I mean, but the two motors we're talking about precedes that by another 15.
Yeah, but they have turbos too.
No, the 4AG was naturally aspirated. It was supercharged. Right. It was turbocharged. It was twin charged.
Right.
I actually had a 4AG in my Toyota Starlet.
You had a Starlet?
You had a Starlet?
Yeah, I don't know how can you share pictures on here?
You just hit the share button.
There's a share button. There's a screen share button.
Wow.
Let me see.
Bro had a Starlet.
Wow. Yeah.
When you have a Starlet with a 4AG in it, I mean, there was a spec racing class. In Japan, where they basically ran like the Starlets, and these things were wide body kitted out.
Right.
Yeah, the TRD kit. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, there you go. The TRD kit on that shit with the 4AG in it. Oh, dude, insane.
And those cars weigh like 2,000 pounds, right, or less?
Way less, man. They were small.
And
they were like
rear-wheel drive too.
Yeah, they were super small.
Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, the 4AG is an awesome engine, but you have I know y'all probably heard of it, but have you heard of the 20 valve?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
black valve cover.
Yes, that engine will sing.
Yep.
You open that engine up, it's phenomenal.
Oh,
and they never use it in a race or performance specific vehicle, which is crazy to me.
Well, yeah, the black top and the silver top, those came out towards the mid 90s. And so Toyota really started to move away from performance based, that compact segment.
The 3G. Okay. What about the 3S GTE?
The 3S GT, that was in the
all track,
the GT.
That's what I'm saying. As soon as they killed that all track Celica, as soon as they killed the Celica, dude, it was done. The silver top and the black top were only available in Japan and Australia.
Right.
The 3S lived on through the Selena, but they wasn't performance cars.
No, that's what I mean. They killed that mid segment, that middle performance segment. They killed it And they killed it at the wrong time because that's when Honda came onto the scene and they killed everybody.
Well, Honda's been making the B16 since '89, so it's been on the scene like for a little bit longer than the mid '90s. B16
but the B16 didn't hit the U.S. market until they came out with the Del Sol. That twin cam B16, because truth be told, I crammed one of those 89 spec B16s into an 87 CRX that I did. That was like my first build.
Nice.
I had it shipped over from Japan. It was a cheap motor. Threw it in. I was smoking dudes, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike V.
Is it showing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's a Starlet right there.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's classic.
That's a KP61, right?
No.
That's an 81.
Yeah.
Wow.
You still have it?
That's cool.
Yeah.
How did you know about the Starlet back then?
Bro, let me tell you, fam. Like, I've been into this, like, old school Japanese. I'm 17 right here in this picture. 17, 18 in this picture right here.
Man.
I thought that was from 2018.
Nah, that's back in the day, bro.
I'm surprised you don't got no Manosphere stickers on here.
Nah.
That's 5 extra horsepower, dude.
Hey, check this out. So that car was pulled behind an RV, and it was mint. Like, they pulled it behind the RV and they drove that whenever they got to where they needed to be. So it had no miles. It was cherry. And yeah, man. I
Still got it?
Nah, I sold it.
Wow.
Don't even get me started, bro. Like,
I got that TRD kit, wide bodied that bitch. Oh, dude.
You definitely need to wide body.
I gotta share some more pictures, man. So it had the 4AG in it, and I swapped a 1UZ out of a Lexus into it.
What?
And yeah, it was. Let me see. I got to dig in these pictures, man. I'm telling you, it was nuts.
Yeah, if you find a picture of that,
I want to throw a wild card in there while you look for that picture, because see, Mike V, you messed up. You know how you messed up, right, Mike V?
Why is that?
Because you said
creating this live stream.
No. He said best 4 cylinders, but he didn't get specific. And so I'm gonna throw a real wild card out here, and I'm gonna say the Suzuki Hayabusa and Suzuki GSXR 1000, because these are both 4 cylinders. So technically they qualify.
Oh, I do. Okay.
See?
Yeah.
Is that what we doing, Super Chiz?
Motorcycle motors.
This can easily devolve into a motorcycle argument, though.
Well, no. He kind of has a point, because if you've ever seen, so there's dudes in Europe who run hill climbs, right? You know what they do? They pull the motor out of this car. They'll stick the motors that he's talking about in it, because the motherfuckers will rev to 12,000 RPM.
I've seen that. I was watching a video of that the other day, literally.
Oh, you know. Here's what they do now too. I forgot which company it is. I saw it. I was researching this company. What they do is they take 2 Suzuki Hayabusas engines and they make a common crankshaft and they make it into a V8.
I saw that back in 07 or 08.
Yeah. The thing about using motorcycle engines in like an application like a car or something is that the clutch doesn't hold the weight. So it'll be fun for a little while, but the clutch don't hold the weight.
Good point.
Well, you have to, number one, you have to fortify some of the internals, and then what you want to do is you want to actually adjust your cam profile so you have power not all at the very top end. And then what they do is, I think they'll change out the pistons, and so that also lowers the RPM. So you end up with an engine that's generally about like maybe, I think it'll rev to maybe 11,000 RPMs as a red line.
Well, they'll do that, but what most of them will just do is, and I've seen a dude, he's been doing this type of shit with like a lot of these V-twin Predator motors and stuff. But dude, all you do is just make an adapter plate and then put your regular transmission.
Right.
Run your regular transmission. You just have an adapter plate that goes to that motor that he's talking about.
So you get rid of the wet clutches and you just have the flywheel on the motorcycle engine
Yeah.
What about
you don't run the motorcycle tranny. Yeah, you don't run the motorcycle tranny. You run the tranny that's in the car, or pick.
What about the splines for the input shaft from the transmission? How are they going to mate up with the motorcycle flywheel spline?
You can fabricate a coupling.
Okay.
I've seen dudes do this shit all day long, man.
And then now with the hybrid technology, what you can actually do is you can use like an actual electric motor up front. Have the motorcycle engine drive the rear wheels, and then have the electric engine up front, because the motorcycle engines they're gonna lack a lot of low end torque.
Right.
And so you're not gonna really be able to get off the line very quickly. But if you add some electric motors, you wouldn't even have to have a lot of horsepower. Just have a torque focused electric motor, maybe 60 horsepower, but like 150 foot-pounds of torque. From 0 RPMs, and then you got it.
That's kind of like how the i3 works.
So in a very tight hairpin, you have this 150 pound-foot front-wheel drive car until the 200 horsepower motorcycle engine behind you kicks in. So you're understeering out of the hairpin and then drifting as you exit.
Don't even get me started on front-wheel drive stuff. I've been out of that.
Well, obviously, it's. I don't think the engine usage will have a basis in practicality. It's more or less for the experience. You want an oral from an engine that revs past 10,000 RPMs in any application is just exhilarating. That's why I'm an avid motorcyclist. Matter of fact, I'm buying another motorcycle next month, and I'm buying a Jupiter 1000 again. So
I still want to get one.
Hold on, what type of bike you getting?
Well, I'm getting a Gixxer 1000. I had the last bike I had was a Hayabusa, and so I can't go back down to a 600 again. I got to have something at least 1,000.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Hey, I got a controversial statement. I don't know if y'all want to hear this one.
As long as it doesn't get us flagged, man.
Nah, it's flag. Hey. The SR20 is not as great as people think it is.
Yeah.
No, I'd agree with that. The SR20 DET, on the other hand.
Yes. See, if you know, you know. See what I'm saying? Check this out. The KA24DE, I got 6 of them laid across my shop space, and I get them for like $100 to $200. That engine has one downfall, and that is that the crank is not counterbalanced.
Right.
But whenever you figure out the crank situation, and you know how to tune it, 1,000 horsepower all day long.
What about the connecting rods though?
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You put for the price of what you spend on the SR20, you can rebuild the whole engine.
Yeah.
And it has a way better torque curve. And it's just I don't understand the SR20. I understand it for the weight, but outside of that, it's a bunch of hype.
No.
The SR20 sounds better.
The thing about the SR20, right, with that motor, the Achilles heel is the crank. And what you had to do was you had to go and get like a billet crank. You had to get yours literally machined out of all new stock. Once you went with a machined crank, which was CNC counterbalanced. So that means that when the machine cut it out of the block of metal, right?
Yes.
Cut it with the right counterbalance tolerances. Then you go with your aftermarket rods and pistons. Dude, you were good. You could, matter of fact, all you had to do on an SR20D really was build the bottom end. You could leave the top end stock.
Yeah, but on the KA24DE motor, a lot of people get away with just putting an aftermarket balancer on the front.
And that motor right there, that was a slept-on motor.
Yes, extremely slept on, and it's still being slept on to this day, which is crazy. And I remember having an SR20 motor, and it came back from the machine shop, and when we were torquing the main caps in sequence, the block split all the way up one of the cylinder walls before we even got it. I've never. I lost all appeal for the SR20 motor after I seen that.
Wow.
Maybe you went to a bad machine shop.
I was gonna say, man, did they do something to it?
I don't know, man, but it never happened with any other engine.
I've never heard of an SR20 to crack like that just from you torquing it down to spec.
Yeah.
The shop might have. Yeah, I think the shop might have did something to that motor.
Yeah. Do they normally what do they normally work with? Like V8s?
No. It's a reputable spot. It's a reputable spot. And actually, it was the only thing they did was clean it, really. And I think they shaved the deck a little bit and that's it. It was no crank journals or no craziness like that. It was just cleaned up. And
how many miles are on it?
Man, I'm sitting there like, wow. Yeah. So
I just have to share a picture for y'all real quick.
Wait, is that the booster right there?
Listen, let me tell you. Only thing that's done is I got the full header exhaust, no resonator, no cash, just straight pipe, and with the power commander. And this thing could go like literally. I take this thing and top it out where it just bounced off the red line in 6th gear. Like this, that's me. That's me on that bike. That's what I used to run.
That's crazy. Bouncing off the rev limiter in 6th gear.
Oh yeah, because I had a cat. He had a Ninja 1000, and I forgot what he had done to it. Like he had the port. He did port and polish. He had the full exhaust, and he did some other stuff too. But anyways, like I would take off on that cat. Like he can keep up with me. But like once we got towards the end of that 6th gear, I think the gearing was just a little bit different than 6th gear for the higher boost, and I could just walk away from him, in 6th gear. And we be on the freeway doing like well over 180.
Yeah, I figured so when you said bouncing off of 6th gear.
Yeah, we don't get because the speedometer only go up to like 185, so I don't know how fast I was going. Wow. But I mean, I would do that frequently.
He said frequently.
That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy, man.
Oh, and that was a 300 millimeter tire on the back too.
Yeah, 300 tire. Okay.
That's about the same width as a Porsche, man.
Yeah. Wow. You had a 55-gallon drum on the back.
Oh yeah. Hey, and you know what? That muffler, that tip. The reason why I had a tip on there is because I would still try to lean my bike. I knocked off my muffler so many times. I just said, you know what? Just put a tip on there.
Yeah. Wow.
So how do you tell us tricks of how you beat speeding tickets, man? Like at some point you got pulled over. There was no way that
can't catch them.
No, like okay, like I don't even want to say this on air, but like statute limitation. But allegedly, when the cops came, I didn't pull over. I had it was me. It was like 3 of us, and we all had the blackout kit, so we could just flip a switch, and all our lights would go off on our bike.
Wow.
So when the cops came, that switch was off, and we took. Like I remember one time, we was going so fast. The cop, he pulled out into the traffic, and then he just pulled right back over. And then the one time we all got pulled over. We was racing like on Westheimer. If anybody went to Houston, like we was racing in Westheimer, and so not on Westheimer, but like in the Westheimer area. And so we was coming back, and I guess somebody had been complaining, and they had called the police, so they had the helicopter out.
Wow.
And so on the way home, I'm like, I'm gonna just drive slow. And so like I was driving slow, then all of a sudden the helicopter came and was like over me. And I was like, what the fuck? But I've been driving the speed limit for like the past, hour, whatever. So I'm like, oh, I'm good, whatever. I'm driving slow. Cops still came and pulled me over, pulled me off my bike, threw me on the car, and was like trying to rough me up too. They were trying to twist my arm and all kind of stuff. And they gave me a ticket, whatever, eventually. But first they tried to knock me off my bike though. They did try to knock me off my bike. But then one of my buddies, they actually knocked him off of his bike and they beat the hell out of him.
Back then you guys didn't use GoPros or nothing like that, right?
Oh no. I guess cops will get so frustrated with motorcyclists in Houston because, you know, it was, and we knew all the people that was like us that were just like, if the cops got behind us, we just take off. We not pulling up because it's like it was no way a cop can catch you on anything above a thousand cc or above. If you got a 600, like if you're on I-10 in Houston, they have the state troopers have a supercharged I'm not sorry. They have Camaros with NOS.
Whoa.
And so they will catch you on a 600 cc bike.
Damn.
And but it's only on I-10. It's only the state troopers on I-10. So if you're on any other freeway, you ain't got to worry about it. But on I-10, they don't play because people be trying to speed going back and forth between Austin and stuff like that. So, but other than that, cops, you know, you get behind me, hit the switch, lights off, and we gone.
Wow.
Wow.
So I need to get 1,000 as my first bike and not a 600.
Well, I started off on 1,000 because you know, it's really unnerving when you first start riding a motorcycle.
Yeah.
You know, you want to get comfortable. I would recommend starting on a 600, maybe a 650 cc bike, because you know 650 cc has less power. It's not a super sport.
Yeah.
So
Are there? So they make 650 sport bikes.
Yeah, they still make 650s. 650s are usually twin cylinders, and they you know they're not considered a super. They're a sport bike, but they're not a super sport. So it's a more upright position. It's easier to maneuver in low speed, and you know you don't have that real crazy power.
Yeah.
And so it's a good bike to learn on. But you know I learned on a 600, and
right.
And you know, and so you just want to get your feet under you first, and then I will upgrade at some point. I wouldn't even start with a 250 or a 300 because you're going to outgrow that bike far too fast.
Yeah, I've heard. That's what people have told me. Yeah.
That's what you train on. That's the type of bike you. Yeah, that's the kind of bike you train on. You don't really actually keep that.
And then and one thing of note. You know, we used to make fun of people with 250s and 300s because you could tell them right away because they got the narrow tire in the back and the engine sound, because it's a one cylinder. Sometimes a couple of them got two cylinders, but the engine sound it sounds like a little lawnmower. Yeah. And it has a little skinny tire. So we make fun. If you was a man and you came on Westheimer with a 250, you was getting clowned.
Yeah, but you know, Super Trish, them KTM 300s, man. I like those.
390, man.
I see you at Big Willow Springs. I see them things ripped, dog.
Yeah, well, you know, a 390 is a little bit different. It's a little bit different beast. You got respect.
Yeah, they didn't have nothing like that back in the day.
They use those in motorsport. Like people actually take those on the track.
Right.
Now, I've seen a video of a 250 in New Zealand, though. I think this is only available in New Zealand, but it was a Honda 4-cylinder and it redlined at 19,000 RPMs.
Yeah, they don't sell that here. That's that new 250 RR.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't sell it in America, though. They say if they sold it here, it'd be almost $8,000, and that's the reason.
Well, Europe is actually not Europe. Some of these other countries are actually moving to anything above 600 cc. Is double the tax rate.
Damn.
I think in Jamaica. They already started that. So you can't even have a 1 liter bike.
Wow.
Yeah, they clamp it down over there. The add on with what Super Triz was saying, because I've been riding a long time myself. And coming from somebody, the first bike I had was a 250. I only kept it 1 year or two and upgraded. So you definitely, the newer beginner bikes have progress. I think the Ninjas are 400 now, and the KTMs are 390. I mean, those aren't bad. Like if you're interested in maybe getting into racing or something in a smaller circuit, those would be good to learn on. But otherwise, yeah, I agree with Super Triz. Something like a 650. Kawasaki or a Honda CBR 650, something like that would be nice to start out on.
Well, see, also with the 250 cc bike for myself personally, I mean, I weigh 215 pounds.
Yeah.
So if I get on a 250 cc, I'm not gonna have any torque, and I can't bring a passenger. I can't get nobody on the back of it.
Yeah.
Like, but if I get like even a 600, like I tried to ride people in the back of my 600, and back when I had my 600. I was a little bit heavier. I was like 230. And so trying to have somebody in the back of my 600 was like impossible because but you really want to have at least a leader bike. Once you get comfortable, get a leader bike, you can ride people on the back of it, no problem. You know what I mean?
Well, my buddy, he's like 230, I think, and he has a BMW S1000R. So
that's the crazy power right there.
Hey, Mike, Paul's got his hand raised, bro.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Hey, Super Triz, you see that Nike? What's your thoughts on that, man?
The what?
That Yamaha Nike.
The Yamaha, which one? The H2?
No, the Nike, the Nike.
I'm not too familiar with that one. Which one is that one?
It's the Yamaha 3-wheel leaning motorcycle.
Oh yeah, you know what? I'm a traditionalist. If you have 3 wheels, you're not a motorcycle. Period.
Super Triz.
I don't know, man. This one leans, brother.
Yeah, I know. I saw it, but look how ugly it looked. That thing. I can't get with it. Like
Super Triz. I can say the same thing for the Booster.
Hey, but you know what? Hey, I used to lean the hell out of my Booster. So even though people think it's ugly, at least I got one category I can lean that motherfucker.
Yeah, if there's one thing I did
honestly,
quite strike
you know what?
me.
To be perfectly honest, like for like a single rider, like if you're not riding passengers, really and truly, 600 is more than enough. Like 1,000, I'm gonna be honest. Even though I'm getting a 1,000, it's overkill. A Hayabusa overkill, ZX14 overkill. Even in some of the new bikes like that are leader class, like the new S1000, that the Ducati that got the V4 now, the Prilla with the V4. Yeah. That's like you're talking about. This is like hypercar level performance in a bike.
Yeah. Well, I think they know that these bikes are overkill. That's why they're making upright versions of them now.
Yeah. I think 750 is the sweet spot, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the sweet spot for me. Yeah, 750 would be, Yeah. I got an MV Augusta, so yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, dude, I don't ride bikes. I don't ride bikes, but if I got one, MV Augusta, bro, all the way, man.
Yeah, I tell you something complex.
I'll have to have one
for anybody that's out there listening, the best performance for $1, you cannot beat a motorcycle. Now, if you're on a track, an experienced car driver would probably get you.
Whoa! I pause. I moved for a minute. I'm sorry.
You're gonna say carts.
Let's dial this back just a minute. You said what?
No, I'm saying like if you're like a car performance outperforms a motorcycle in corners because of of just physics.
You ever been in a cart?
Kart.
Well, even a go-kart would outcorner a motorcycle.
No, but what was it that you said as far as a motorcycle goes?
That's what I'm saying. Like the performance, you can't beat the performance of a motorcycle, but a car will outperform a motorcycle in a corner.
No. I'm saying in a cart. Have you ever either been in a 125cc shifter or a 250cc supercar?
Man, I've never been in no cart with that much power ever.
I would reserve that until you've been in a 125cc shifter or a 250cc supercar. I'm going to go into those later.
I'm talking about straight line performance. You can get a motorcycle.
So am I.
A motorcycle in straight line performance, right? You're talking about quarter miles.
No. A racing cart. I'm talking about something, a rolling chassis that weighs no more than like 175 pounds with a 65 horsepower motor put on it, like a CR 125cc motorcycle engine. That's a shifter cart.
Oh, but see, I've seen like carts and I've seen like some of the drag races on YouTube's and like in straight line performance, I've seen carts beat cars. But not with a 125cc engine, they're gonna beat a motorcycle. Not a leader class bike.
No. What I'm saying is if you're talking about pure performance, that's what I'm saying. You were talking a 250cc supercar, dude. Okay.
Oh, and pure performance. Well, I mean, I'm talking about something that's street legal. Street legal vehicles That I'm talking about production street legal vehicles.
Okay. Well, carts aren't even. They're not even for the street. So okay.
But I'm talking about as far as like the amount of money you spend, because you can get a leader class bike for under $20,000 out the door after tax, title, and license, and you will outperform.
Well, yeah, if we're talking street legal,
9.9% of the vehicles on the road.
Yeah. If you're talking street legal, no. There's nothing that you can. There's no car really that you're gonna buy that's gonna give you like a bang per buck performance return than a bike. Because the reason why I was arguing your point is because I used to, when I had my shop, I used to work on bikes. I used to work on Husqvarnas, Hondas, all that stuff, right? I used to wrench on all that stuff, right?
Until the good Lord decides to rain, and then your bike is useless.
No, it's not. Let me tell you something. I lived in Houston. Hold on. I lived in Houston. And when I was in Houston, I owned a CBR 1000. And I got a picture of it somewhere. I'm going to post a picture of it in a second. I had a CBR 1000. And I bought the CBR 1000 after I bought my Mustang. I bought a Mustang GTCS, right? I drove that CBR 1000 every single day for an entire year. I didn't even drive my car at all. Matter of fact, after that year, I had spider webs on my car that was parked outside. I had to have it towed to a shop before I can actually start it up because I hadn't driven it in a year. And so I had a rain suit, and I would drive to work, rain, sleet, whatever. It didn't matter. I rode my bike every single day.
You weren't getting your earth-shattering performance in rain, especially around corners.
Let me tell you something. Riding a motorcycle,
grocery shopping on your motorcycle.
You have to go grocery shopping every other day.
They're great for what they are, but bro, a motorcycle versus an automobile, it's a nice little toy, but it will never match the utility and overall usability of a vehicle.
Well, Paul,
I don't think we're talking about utility or usability.
Yeah, to be fair to Super Triz, he is basically stating in terms of what you can extract out of a performance vehicle, right? Bike versus a car, like I said, man, I've seen some built up NB Gustas. I've seen guys ride them up to Big Willow, get onto the track, and dude, I've seen nothing like some of the stuff I've seen on some of these sport bikes.
I tell you what, you can have a sport bike. I know that I've seen literally leader class and above sport bikes, no wheelie bar. I'm talking about a sport bike with a street DOT tire, no wheelie bar, can run a quarter mile with some modifications, can run a quarter mile in the sixes.
Well, of course, because of the horsepower to weight ratio. We all know that. We're all gearheads. We will never argue that.
John Force was running sevens with a 4G63 while we on his 4-cylinder talk.
But was he on DOT tires?
I seriously,
I think it's.
I have the money to answer to that question.
You know what?
No.
I think he was on MT Streets.
I'm talking about a DOT.
Right.
Listen,
I
a DOT standard 190 on the back of a bike. DOT 190 millimeter, which is standard for a motorcycle, super sport. DOT 190 millimeter, no wheelie bar. Now, anybody who's ever tried to drag race a motorcycle understands part of the problem is trying to keep the front end down.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially off the line when you launch, you're trying to keep your front end down so you don't lose control. And so to actually be able to run sixes on a motorcycle with no wheelie bar, DOT tires, standard width 190 millimeter, this is crazy. Like you can't beat that kind of performance, especially for the price.
That's a lot of skill though, too.
Yeah, a whole lot of skill.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
I can't do it.
I come before the congregation. I got to change from the last talk. And I remember we was talking about the interior options for the AMG.
Yes.
And I said that I'll take the piano lacquer with the stripes over the carbon fiber.
Not me.
I'm back to repent.
Somebody's had a change of heart.
Oh,
Yeah,
I try to
And
tell
I'm
you.
sorry. I'm sorry.
I try to tell you, brother.
Try to tell you.
Hey, but you know
Carbon
what?
fiber is pure fire.
But you know what, man?
That
I've
piano
seen.
black?
Listen. I've been burnt out on carbon fiber, man. I see so much of it, man. It's just the originality of carbon fiber is just.
Dude, function over it, dude. It's
No,
function,
I
man.
understand that, man. I'm talking about for the aesthetic looks, bro. It's just like I gotta force myself to just. I like the. I know what it is, but what it looks like, I'm burnt out on it, man. I ain't even.
Mercedes does
You said piano
everything
black.
differently. Mercedes is the first company that I've seen. They make carbon fiber look different. No one has managed to pull that off.
Yeah, there's
And
different.
you know,
weave
Gotta love those Germans.
Yeah, it's the
I
weave
know-
pattern.
yeah, high quality carbon weave, low carbon. You know what I'm saying? Like I know the difference, and like I have to see it, but man, I gotta repent, man. That was foolish. That was foolish.
Who else uses a carbon fiber? Spiker. Spiker makes a gray carbon fiber.
Are they American?
No, they're
Dutch,
European.
right?
Yeah, they're
Dutch.
Spiker's
Dutch.
Dutch.
Spiker's Dutch.
Yeah,
Bro.
I just wanted to say that, man. It was eating at me.
Listen,
Gotta be yourself.
bro, listen. You are hereby absolved of all of your prior sins.
No, he's not absolved.
Nah, he's good, man. He's good.
My
He's good.
son,
No, he
and-
said piano black.
Right,
I
but
Well, he's black first.
He won. He won.
But he did say, brothers, he did say he has come into the light and he has repented for his sins, and he realizes that Mercedes carbon fiber is probably the hottest on the market. So for that, he has absolved. Go forth, my son, be fruitful and multiply.
Yeah, and then it was only a week ago that he said this. So I mean, it seems to me as if he's put a lot of thought on this over the past week. So he's really thought hard about this. It's all good, man.
You have no idea how much carbon fiber I've seen, and like for me to just be like, it's a lot, man. I've been through it. Hey, you know what? Hey, you know what? I want to drop this gem too, since we're on the subject of four cylinders.
Mm-hmm.
I said the 4G63 is the greatest four cylinder of all time, but now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the M139 motor.
M1.
Yeah, that's out of the Infinity.
No. It's from AMG.
Oh, AMG. Okay.
It is the highest production power four cylinder. It makes 419 horsepower.
Is this one have an electric supercharger?
No. I don't think that's this one. It's a AMG.
I know it's turbocharged, but I think it has an electric supercharger too, right? Maybe I'm mistaken, but I know it has. I know it's turbocharged.
That engine is crazy.
Dude, gentlemen, do I have to say it again? Do I have to say it? Anybody?
Say
it.
The Germans are the best engineers in the world.
Okay.
But, automotive technical prowess is unmatched.
So list a four cylinder from them.
No, the one that Ty City just mentioned, AMG.
I still stand by my K20 comment, because as soon as you throw a turbo on that, I mean, it's doing exactly everything that everyone else is doing and more. And it has.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's all I got to say. I mean, the K20 is killing it, naturally aspirated power potential, and once you throw a turbo on it, I mean, I went to a car show once, and I saw a very clean EK hatch with a boosted K20 under the hood. And I asked the owner, why didn't you go with the K24? And he said it would have made too much torque.
Yep.
He said it ran tens.
All right, I have two questions for you. Number one, what about the K22A? And number two, what about the Nissan SR20
We were talking about the SR20 DT.
There is no. There's an H22.
Okay.
I think, yeah, the H22 and the SR20 DT. I mean, see, the thing about the K20, I would say that the K20 is literally like the last great four banker, right? And that's why like K20, the K20 comes later in the game, you know. But when we talk about the 4A, we talk about the 4G63 and the Toyota 4AGE,
right?
Those are iconic four-cylinder seats. So those motors go. You're literally stretching from the 80s into the 90s into the 2000s.
I do like. The thing I like about the 4A is the Formula Atlantic ones where they rev up to like 11,000.
That's why I was trying to tell Ty City. I'm like, dude, before you
call for the price.
What? Wait, call for the price of a
Formula
Atlantic Motorsports built 4AG. What's the price tag on it?
Look, I tell you right now, a buddy of mine, my buddy Eric, and this is a brother, by the way, he has two of them. He has two Atlantic cars, dude. I already know how much they are.
So he's like Bunta? Bunta Fujiwara?
No. This is no, my buddy Eric. He's a dude he's got two Formula Atlantics.
We talking about 20 grand for 250 horsepower.
Yeah, but you're talking about
more, but there's like design and engineering to it too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, that you can't really just look at the numbers as,
I mean,
as a
and then plus it's 250 out of a 1.6.
Right. It's not a linear output, man. You're talking about a RPM band of up to about 11,000 RPMs.
Hey, let me tell you.
That is a little pricey when you can get, and you already know how I feel, but that's a little bit pricey when for $5 grand more, I can get a 500 horsepower GM crate motor.
Wait. Okay, look, we can stay with Toyota. Let's go to 3SGE beams. I could get that for $900. And it's making 210 horsepower, and it come with a 6-speed attached to it.
Yep.
Yeah, but the B18C5 made 200.
It is not that motor. That motor is not even performing at the level of that beams motor.
I don't know.
There's no the Yamaha.
Give me 2 points so it doesn't.
Yamaha engineered that head, and it is one of the best running engines.
Yeah, I understand Yamaha engineered the head, but give me 2 points where the 3SGE outperforms the B18C5.
The B18C5 from the Type R? From the Type R?
The Type R. Yes.
Oh.
I mean, well, okay, look, I would say that the beams
is a better engine. The beams is.
How so?
VVTi is better than VTEC.
Yeah. How?
Well, they're both variable valve timing.
Okay, they both variable valve timing, but the Honda is operated by oil pressure, and the VVTi can be moved around.
Well, the Honda can be moved around as well.
Well, you can change the VTEC engagement, like especially like the Honda computers.
Okay, how can the beams be moved around in what sense? Like ignition or the cam phasing or what? Okay,
so what happens is on the beams, the beams actually is it. I can't explain how it works throughout the cam gears, but it's just it's better. It's better.
All right. I like the 3SGE, but I just want to know how it's better than the B18C5.
The thing about it is that I've seen it if you go and look back, and I get where Ty City's coming from. If you go back and look at all options videos, right?
Oh yeah.
You didn't have B18Cs that were walking the VVTIs, dude. It was the other way around. The difference is that the B18Cs and Honda motors in general have way more development in the States than the Beams motor did, because the Beams motor, the only way you got that motor is if you imported it here. So it wasn't in any cars for people to do anything with. But if you go back to the old options videos, dude, them Beams motors used to walk the Hondas.
I wouldn't disagree with that, because not too many people.
You're gonna be seeing a lot more of these Beams motors because now we've approached that 25-year anniversary. Actually, it's come and gone.
Well,
you're seeing a lot. Actually, I'm starting to see, even here in Seattle area, I'm starting to see R33 GTRs.
Oh, I've seen an R33 out here in Chicago. There was someone.
We've been having R34 pop
I've
up
seen
at the.
R34.
We got all that shit in Texas. They don't really care what you register the vehicle as here in Texas.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, they got ports down there in Houston.
Even though the car is illegal to even be in the country because
they're legal now.
The car is not the R34. Not only was it not even R33. I know it's legal now.
Right.
Not only was it not road legal, it was illegal to physically be in the country. The importation was actually against the law. So it was a crazy law, but there were ways around it. So
I think if you register it as a show car, you can have it in this country.
Or you have
not even that.
You registered it as a 240. There was a
SX.
Yeah, you registered. What it was okay on the shipping papers. When it got sent over, it was you filed it with I forgot what it was. 'Cause I had a buddy who he imported like 5 of them here, and he told me how he did it. Basically, it was under a special edition 240 SX model. If you had it shipped over under that designation, they will let it through.
Did they ever check the bins?
Here, see all that stuff.
Well, let me get to this real quick, man, because I know we kind of beat up the 4-cylinder for about an hour now. I was at the dealership earlier today, man. I was getting my car detailed. I came across this in the showroom. Can you mute yourself? I don't know if you're driving a forklift or a backhoe.
My bad.
Yeah. So 991 GT3.
Sexy.
That's it right there.
Go ahead, Paul. I know you got something to say about it.
Paul, is it paddle shift or 6-speed? It's 6-speed, right? That one.
Yeah, this is 6-speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came across the Cayman as well. This is the AMG GT.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's the C63 right there.
No, that's a GT.
AMG GT.
That's the okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This one has a wide body to it.
I don't know what I don't know if that's the GTC, the GT, or the GTR, but it's
a GTS.
GTS, okay.
Damn.
Wow.
Oh, that's hard right there.
That's the RS, right?
Money. That's money right there.
That's the RS, right?
With the right brakes.
GT3 RS.
Yep.
That's it. That's the money right there.
Yeah, they want
500.
Yeah, close to that.
Yeah, I know.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a big.
No, not for this. Not for this. For this, you're probably talking about at least 250.
Ooh,
but
yeah.
4 liter, if you want a 4 liter, yeah, you're talking at least 400, 450.
Really?
500 for a 4 liter. But this is a 3.8.
Oh.
Yeah, GT3 RSs and GT3 were just they were just 3.8s, but in the 997 4 liters, that's where the real money comes in at.
Yeah.
Okay. That's hard.
Yeah, that is hard. I definitely like it, but I mean, the wheels are not my taste, but I kind of like I'm a real factory type of guy, man. So,
no, actually, I like those wheels is right up my alley. That's the kind I like.
Tris is all about the bling, man. He's all about that, man.
That's not too blingy. It's because it still looks sporty. It doesn't look like you're trying. It's not like the kind of wheels that you put on an Impala, SS or kind of,
Wow, an Impala SS.
So I found out here, Paul, that Triz used to be around in the same areas that I was in the SoCal street racing scene back in the day, and he was rolling around in a Taurus show.
The SHO?
Yeah, super high output.
What, the Gen 1 or the Gen 2?
Gen 2. 3.5 liter V8, but I had an aftermarket custom fabricated supercharger sourced from Pontiac Bonneville, what I got from a junkyard. I got some schematics from a group, from an internet group, and they gave me some schematics. I took it down to Quest Performance in San Bernardino, and they put it on.
Okay, now here's the $64,000 question: was it automatic or manual?
Oh, it was automatic. They only came in
no wonder
automatic.
you were getting walked.
They only
No
came
wonder
in
you were
automatic Gen
getting
2.
walked.
They only came in automatic in Gen 2. There was no manual transmission option.
Yeah, it was.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my car detailed as well at the dealership. So
Bumblebee.
That's the monster beetle right there, man.
yeah,
That's
I had to be.
nice.
Yeah, I had to be careful going home because all of the shine on the wheels.
That's your Beetle there?
Yeah, that is mine.
That's the
cool,
RSI,
man.
right?
Is that turbocharged, Mike?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all Beetles
Okay.
are turbocharged.
How fast?
Is that the 1.8 or the 2.0?
This is the 2.0. This is the this is the Gen 3 engine. They only made it for that year.
Nice.
Nice.
That car is a straight.
My
sleeper.
sister has one of these. Well, not this trim, but that body style Beetle. She has one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Go ahead.
No. Go, Mike. I'm sorry.
Well,
I like the racing stripes on it.
You got a picture of the back, Mike?
I didn't do a picture of the back. I didn't want to get hit by a car, but I should have gotten a picture of it.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah,
is it manual?
No, they don't. In order to get manual from Volkswagen, man, you have to order it. They just imported this from Germany, so they only come in DSG. If you want manual, you have to pay more. So,
Wow.
Okay. Oh, that's weird. They're going backwards now.
Well, because 80% of their sales are DSG. So
yeah, you're right. The take rate, as they like to call it. Paul, I have something to share. You might like this, but I want to share it to everyone. I drove an E92 M3 for the first time ever last night, and it was stick.
How did you like it?
I think that car will be good with about 510 to 520 horsepower at the wheels. But like when you put it in M mode, the acceleration when you put your foot down, right when you put the foot down, is so ferocious. And there were times where I'd be driving, staring at the road, and I'd be like, okay, this is making enough power. And I looked down at the tach, and it was only at 6,000 RPMs.
Yeah. And
I had another 2,500 to go. I felt like there wasn't enough room to really experience what that car was capable of.
You know, the thing about that particular car, and I've been on the highway many a time against the E92 M3. And dude, I was expecting the car to walk away on me, and it never does.
Oh, you mean get squirrely?
Wait, what? I'm sorry?
You mean the rear end get loose?
No, what I mean is that it's a powerful car and it performs, but I would think that I'm driving my vehicle and I would expect for someone driving the E92 M3 to walk away from me, but they never do. They can never lose me. So honestly, for the performance from what I've seen in every encounter that I've ever been driving up against the E92 M3, I'm not impressed.
Yeah, this might sound a little ignorant, and my buddy bought it. I'm super proud of him, and I said this to him, but to me, it felt like a really good Honda because the power output is all the way at the top of the rev range.
You see, that's true because BMW engineers said when they designed the motors, they designed it using Formula One tech, so all the power is up high.
Right, and I love that car.
You have to rev it because the thing makes, if memory serves correct, what 414 horses, but like 280.
Yeah, I was gonna say 289 pound-feet of torque is not enough for a 3,400 pound car.
True, but you have to keep in mind one thing: all German vehicles are relatively heavy at every class because they have to survive high-speed crashes on the autobahn.
I remember you mentioning that before, and that's a good point.
That's why German cars are so heavy.
Here locally, those E92s, the 335s with the single turbos is just hard out here.
Okay.
Hard. I think they all making at least 600 something plus horsepower. They sound nasty too.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Quick question. Who is this scofflaw I'm looking at?
That's Super Triz. That's me.
Yes, I know.
How many
Jokes.
how many pairs of Jordans do you have, Super Triz?
Oh, actually, I got quite a few, but you know what? I only wear Jordans to the gym. That's it. Like you'll never see me. Matter of fact, that's like my gym outfit right there. Like you'll never see me with Jordans with street clothes ever.
You don't wear Jordans with your scrubs?
No. I wear to my job. I wear Bally's, Kenneth Cole, Gucci, and True. I got some old True Religions.
You don't wear any Crocs?
Hell no.
You wear an old pair of True Religions to work?
Yeah, I got some old True Religion shoes that I had these shoes probably about 12 years.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the jeans.
No, I got some old True Religion shoes that I've had for many years. I just wear those to work.
So you took that what is that old 600 RR and converted it?
No. This is a 1000. This is that's an actual CBR Honda CBR 1000 right there.
Okay.
And that has a 240 millimeter tire, and I think it's I want to say I have a 8 or 10 inch stretch swing arm on that one. And as you can see, I was still able to do wheelies on that with a stretch swing arm.
You're a very risky person. I assume you have an Android phone too.
And I have an iPhone. I have an iPhone.
Oh yeah, you're a bit of a liberal.
Yeah.
God, man, Jesus.
No, but that's you're very risky, man. You don't see the ride with helmets too much, man.
Actually, that was just like in front of my house. Like whenever I actually like go on the ride, 100% of the time, helmet and actual motorcycle jacket. Like I actually have Kevlar jackets.
Yeah,
I don't have my Kevlar jacket. I'm gonna have to buy another one. But I had a 40-pound Kevlar jacket that I used to ride with.
40 pounds. Damn.
40 pound. It was fully Kevlar. Had the spine Kevlar, shoulders, elbows. I mean, the front, chest plate, everything.
So, have you ever fallen before?
Never.
Oh, good.
Yeah, knock on wood, man. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Because what is your brand? Dianese.
You said what?
What is your brand of for jackets? Dianese or
First Racing.
Okay.
I saw Dianese a couple years ago. They made a racing suit with an airbag inside of it.
Yeah, that's standard now. That's standard.
Yeah.
It's called D-Ear. Because if you buy a Ducati, there's a I think Ducati might be the only manufacturer that does it, but they have the sensor on the bike. So if the bike is going down, the jacket will inflate before you hit the ground.
Oh.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I saw a video of it.
Yeah, that's been around for a while.
Okay.
But see, I get so low in the damn corners, I don't know. That jacket may go out. You feel me?
Who taught you how to ride, Super Triz?
I taught myself.
Whoa.
Would you start off on dirt bikes?
Actually, I started off on the first bike I ever really rode was I want to say it was a Suzuki like GX like 4 something. It was like an adventure bike. The bike was so tall, I had to lean it over to get on it.
Wow.
I had to lean over and kind of jump on it and like get on it like that. It was a guy on my street when I was younger, and he had a tow truck company. He used to steal bikes. So they had their tow trucks, and they were like just steal bikes. And so he always had all these bikes, and he would try to sell them. And so he had this adventure bike that he couldn't sell. He had it for the longest time, and so he would let me just practice riding on it. I dropped it several times, Okay. So that's how I got my practice.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, you say adventure bike? You talking like a dual sport?
Yeah, like a dual sport. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the big, it's like the ones that's like super tall, like off the ground. Yeah. With the kind of like the off-road tires.
Like go on or off for like the Husqvarnas and stuff like that.
Yeah. But this was like a Japanese one.
I used to wrench on those things all the time, man. Yeah.
But this was like a Japanese. It was like I want to say it was a Suzuki, or maybe it was a Kawasaki or Yamaha. It was like one of those two, but I think it was a Suzuki, some type of I want to say it was a GX 450. It was some type of 450, maybe 650 adventure bike. Or off,
Yeah.
you know, they call it adventure bike, but it's a dual sport.
Yeah. There's all types of nicknames they have for it, but yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool because I got my motorcycle license as well. I did that years ago as well.
It was a single cylinder too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Loud
it
as
was
hell,
like
I bet, right?
I think it was a 450 cc.
How did that power delivery feel on the single cylinder?
Well, you know, I really wasn't experienced with bikes, so I can't really gauge it at that point in time. I really didn't know enough about motorcycle dynamics to really be able to gauge the power delivery. I mean, I was trying to stay on the bike, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
Yo, I saw something today that made me think about this live stream. So this dude had the Mitsubishi Lancer, not the Evo, not the MR. He had the base Mitsubishi Lancer that your grandmother would drive. And the one he was driving, I don't know, I don't think it wasn't the 10. It may not even have been the 9. It may have been like the 8. And it was red, you know, grandma trim. This dude had black Enkai wheels on it, and he had the Evo 10 wing on the back in black. And I'm looking at this dude like, dude, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, there's a lot of poverty spec
Blasphemy.
running around,
Yeah,
man.
blasphemy.
Poverty spec.
Yeah, that's what it is. They have to wind the windows down with their arms and shit, man. You know, manually like that. So
I think my first Integra was like that.
well, I mean, you accept that for an Integra, but you don't accept that for these guys faking the funk with their with their Evos, man. You know, all these big coffee can exhausts and
and Mike, and he had a coffee can exhaust on it. And the thing is, it's not the Evo, it's the base Lancer.
and it's an automatic transmission, and they go around the corner and they pull up the emergency brake and do a J turn, and then they think it's like, come on, dude, cut it out.
I'll tell you what's crazy about that is they actually the lower trim poverty spec, they actually have a Rally Art edition. They don't have a Rally Art Evo, which is crazy.
And it comes with OZ wheels on it too.
Yeah, it comes with OZ wheels.
That's like the.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go right ahead.
I was gonna say that's like the last trim you can get before you step into the Evo territory.
Yeah, it's like a legit poverty spec.
Yeah,
it is. It is, man. You know, I'm surprised I'm surprised it doesn't come with an EBT card.
My buddy had one though back in the day. My buddy had one.
Dude, are you serious, dog?
For real. It should be right there in the glove box, waiting right for you.
Man, I'll daily drive a Lancer in the winter because I won't care about it.
Now, personally, and you know what?
That's mine right there. Yeah, 750 Super Sport.
So you take this to the track, huh?
Now and then.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Dude, that's beautiful. I like that color.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, Lex, man, that's a good looking bike there, bro.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate
what is that? 750 cc?
Yeah, 750 Super Sport.
Yep.
My only question, would you consider putting either a Vance and Hines or a Yoshimura, and would you consider powder coating your calipers?
Yeah, for exhaust for that, I'm gonna. Yeah, you're funny. For exhaust for that, man.
No, all jokes aside, bro. Really.
I wanna. Well, you want to try to go with some European exhaust for something like that. I'm thinking probably a Profovich or a Terminaci would be.
What about Akrapovic?
That's what you just said.
Yeah. I don't know, a Termi. A lot of Ducatis had a Termis too. So
I'm not a big fan of aftermarket exhaust, man. I just feel like this is too noisy for me, man.
Also, when you talk about a motorcycle, Mike V, one of the primary benefits of an aftermarket exhaust is less unsprung weight, because even 12 pounds on a motorcycle can make the world of difference. And you definitely want to, like, like for a bike like that, like if you can get your hands on a what's the starts with a T? God dog, I can't even think of it. The metal. What's the metal? Titanium.
Titanium.
Yeah, if you can get your hands on a titanium exhaust, it makes the world of a difference. And if you can get your hands, like, now they make carbon fiber wheels, although I'm scared of carbon fiber wheels because I'm wondering like how durable are they? Like, I don't want any failures on a motorcycle.
I would never put carbon fiber wheels on any vehicle ever.
Well,
because they
Mustang GT350.
Keep in mind that the carbon fiber can support a lot of weight.
But
if
we're talking about weight.
It's impact. It's impact.
And then like the actual torsional forces that are exerted, from the center of the wheel. So because the wheel is gonna have some type of spoke on it. I mean, I'll be really scared. But I mean, I know some of the MotoGP riders have carbon fiber wheels and stuff like that, and that the rotating mass makes an immense amount of difference. Like if you can lessen the like on any wheels on any type of vehicle. Like if you change out the wheels to a lighter compound metal,
it has a lower rotational moment of inertia.
There you go.
Carbon fiber is strong in torsion, but it's weak in compression. And impacts, that's the ultimate form of compression. I would never personally go with a carbon fiber wheel on any vehicle.
Well, I mean, Ford uses it on the Mustang, so
right.
If they're using it on the track.
Yeah, but there's no potholes on a track.
Well, that's where it's best suited. But I mean, no one expects to ride that up and down.
Avoid the potholes.
Yeah, up and down Crown Heights somewhere. I mean,
Crown Heights.
And then if you ever ride a motorcycle at high speed, there's points like I know in Houston when we were riding on 610 on the west side of 610 freeway. There's bumps. There's like a series of bumps, and you're actually airborne on your motorcycle. Whoa. And you slam back down over and over. I've lost my muffler probably about 4 times speeding through there. And so if you have carbon fiber wheels coming down, I don't know how. I mean, a couple of times on that.
Yeah, I don't know if I would risk that. Good point.
I don't trust carbon fiber wheels at all.
Well, when you live from stoplight to stoplight, like those Evo boys in the automatic transmission.
Well, they put the carbon fiber stickers. They cover the wheels up in carbon fiber stickers from.
Yeah, and if they don't do that, they plaster dip. So and what kills me, man, is like they throw so many stickers on there. All these advertisements, and it's like, dude, is this NASCAR in the streets or something? Like, what is it? Like,
when I was younger, that's not how I got into cars, though.
You know what they're doing now?
What's that?
They're putting these fake tow hooks. Like, I thought these tow hooks were real.
Oh yeah.
They sell these little fake tow hooks to put on their car, and it's like what's the point? Like, I guess it's just for looks, but it's like I'm not doing nothing that's just for looks.
I think they got that from like JGTC cars used to have these like big obnoxious red tow hooks on the front and back. And so that trickled down into the JDM community, and now it's finally trickled down into like AutoZone and Pep Boys.
Yeah.
I saw one time. I saw somebody. This was in California, and this was a girl. She had a kickstand on her car. She had the airbag suspension, and she would let it down onto the kickstand.
Wow.
On her car?
Hey, on the car.
Are you in Vegas now?
No, I'm probably gonna be in Vegas probably at the end of next month.
Oh, next month, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw somebody put that Porsche up, man. That's my dream car right there, the 911 Porsche. That's my goal that I'm aiming for next year.
Yeah, that was me. That was me at the dealership early before the hangout.
I don't know, King Sigma. I mean, I don't know if you saw that. I don't know if you saw that. The C8.
No, I just tuned in because I got an email from Mike about something else, and I just checked in and I saw that y'all were talking. I saw that Porsche, and I'm like, man, like I'm a big believer in setting like goals. So I got like a nice Porsche Turbo 911 as my avatar on my phone to keep.
Okay, so real quick.
Hey, y'all about to get Mike riled up talking about that Stingray, man. I mean, Paul.
911 is your.
No, I was talking about the Porsche,
avatar.
the Porsche 911.
Well, you know it's Porsche, right? Not Porsche. Porsche.
Yo, Paul, your volume's kind of low, bro.
Yeah, real low.
Sorry about that. Yeah,
Okay,
it's
yeah, I can-
Porsche, not Porsche, because you know it's a
got to get it right.
It's
Porsche.
It's German.
Yeah.
It's German. It's Porsche.
Hey man,
Only
once I
Americans
get
call it
one,
Porsche.
as long as I'm in it, Porsche, it's all gonna be the same anyways.
You know what? The Porsche is, you know, from people that I know that own Porsches, and I've driven a Porsche in Germany. I've rented a Porsche a couple times when I was in Germany, and from what I've heard, like as far as like cars in that particular class, some of the most reliable cars in that particular category.
You gotta be in the right place.
Let me tell you, it's a video on YouTube where they launch a Porsche over 100 times in launch mode. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Back to back 100 times.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
you know, see, out here, we're more into SUVs out here because we get too much snow during the winter. So I just rock with my Cherokee right now. But once I move to a warm place, that's one of my first goals. I'm getting myself a Porsche. I've been trying to knock this sale for about 3 months. I've been working on this sale with a startup out there in San Francisco, and man, they just got like a series B funding, and I think we got 10 million. So I'm working my ass off trying to get this sale because I keep trying to convince them to work with us on this marketing campaign next year. And you know, my commission it's gonna be nice. So if I get at the end of the year, I'm working my ass off. So if I get that commission before December, that's how I'm gonna treat myself. I'm getting myself a Porsche next spring, man. If I
But you know, King Sigma though, I don't know if you've seen that C8.
No, you stop.
Now hold on for a second. I know y'all gonna get mad. I know y'all gonna get mad.
Oh my God.
Listen, hey. So, they was talking. One of the engineers, somebody had caught one of the engineers, and the C8. They was testing the convertible with the Z51 package. Because you know the convertible is still like a test build, but they had the convertible with the Z51 package, 0 to 60 in 2.7.
Whoa.
Oh, come on.
But you know what makes me feel kind of weird about the C8?
Wait,
I didn't know those was on the road. Are those on the road yet?
No.
September.
How much? What's the price tag on that?
Well, okay, so basically the base MSRP. Now, one of the engineers said the MSRP is going to be $56,999.
It's under 60K. It's under 60K.
But I don't think I'm thinking. Yeah, it's going to be under 60K, but I'm thinking more like $59,999. You know, but just under 60K. But that's for the base model without the Z51 package.
Well, did you see that? Did you see the Porsche E-Mission? Now that you're talking about the future cars, did you see the E-Mission, the electric?
Yeah, I seen the electric, but I ain't seen the price yet on that. That's the problem.
Man, yeah, that's a different spec. That's a different spec vehicle compared to the
C8.
Yeah. So, but we're kind of keeping it on the C8 for a second here. The Porsche that you saw in the picture was one that I was at the dealership before the hangout. I had to go pick my car up, and the cars are for sale on the floor, but you know, many people aren't going to buy them at this point. Now is not a good time to buy cars, but those cars are investments. So when we talk about like GT3, GT3 RS, 4 liters, the AMG GTSs and GTRs and stuff like that, those cars are investments because what we found.
What year was that one that was at the dealership that in that picture?
That's a 991. That's a 991. 992 is out right now. So
that was a 2020?
No, 991.
Was it a 991.1 or 0.2?
I didn't ask.
I'm trying to get a 997.2. That's what I want.
Those are hard to get. Those are hard to get.
Yeah.
With the right shooter. Right?
Well, I see the whole thing. Like, I'm really being patient on my next upgrade because I have a feeling that we're gonna have a recession in the next year or so. So I'm really trying to be patient because one of the things, I don't know if you guys remember, but the last time we had a recession out here, man, they was selling cars 2 for 1 out here. Like, man, in like around 09 to 2010, it was so bad in the car game that if you bought a car, they gave you one for free.
Yeah, Mazda was doing that.
Yeah, it's a buyer's market, bro.
But you know who fucked it up? The government, when they did that cash for clunkers.
Cash for clunkers, yep.
They fucked it up because back in 09, if you bought a vehicle, the dealer was so desperate, they would give you a brand new car. My uncle and his wife ended up doing a 2-for-1 type like that. But then what happened? They passed that bullshit cash for clunkers and ruined the whole market, man.
Well, the used car market dries up once everybody starts taking all their old cars and basically selling it as scrap.
And I was working at a Ford dealership, and you would not believe the cars that we was buying from people bringing in. Like, I couldn't believe they was trading in some of the cars. I know with a 300Z twin turbo, and it just needed a tune-up. It sat in the garage, and somebody came to trade it in, and I ended up with it.
Oh, they was hurt. We don't really talk about that period. People have forgotten really quickly, but as with all business cycles, what goes up comes down. And so I kind of been patient because I got a 2015, so I'm good right now. But I really have been dreaming about a Porsche for a long time, and I feel like I don't want to wait too long because I feel like, you know, your early 30s is a good time to buy a Porsche, especially out here. But I kind of was thinking that, you know, if I end up,
there's never a bad time to buy a Porsche. What are you
and then most Porsche buyers
are in their 50s, right?
Yeah, 45.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that I feel like when you're in your 50s, I feel like that, like you're waiting too long. Is all I'm saying. Like I feel like when you're in your 50s, I don't want to wait until I'm in my 50s to get a Porsche. I want to get one while I'm in my early 30s. What I'm saying.
So you know what you do? Go out and buy the Widowmaker, the GT2 RS.
Wait, what chassis would be that one?
How much are those running now? I mean, it's like
365.
Oh, you're talking about a newer. I thought Porsches were called Widowmakers from like the 70s 911s.
They were, but
I thought those were the real Widowmakers.
The reason why I call it the Widowmaker is because the thing has 700 horsepower and it's only rear wheel drive.
And it's manual, right?
And you better believe it.
But it gets a cage, so it's, you know, it's a vegetable maker.
But that's
I don't think they sell it with a cage in the United States. I think that's illegal.
Well, that's one reason on which I go to the West Coast, because out here, the thing that sucks is that we're in winter mode for like 6 months out of the year.
Where do you live?
I'm in Minnesota right now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I'm like, you got to have an SUV out here, man. But like, cats be, you know, when your money's right, you can play both games. And a guy that I work with, he's like the director of my department. He has a Lambo, and I mean, man. But it's like you can only drive your car here for like 2 months when you got a sports car. So you could do it hard all year round. So I could actually trade in my car and pay off the rest. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for, is to get out to the West Coast.
Hey, King Sigma.
Hey, what up?
I feel what you're saying, but I drove an FRS all winter in Michigan once, and I was fine.
What?
Yeah.
Nah, man. But Minnesota gets way more snow than Michigan, bro.
Well,
I don't know.
When it comes to something like a Porsche, especially the turbo 4-wheel drive,
I wouldn't do that. Well, I wouldn't do it.
You gotta have 4-wheel drive out here, bro. Trust me on this, man.
Not just the 4-wheel drive, but you need snow tires, because the summer tires won't even hold up after a certain temperature. So
you ain't pushing. You would be doing yourself a disservice to push a Porsche out here during the winter, not just because of the mechanics, but because of like just the way that we salt our roads. And
you want to PPF your car, then you just wrap the car. That's all. Once you wrap the car, you don't have to worry too much about it.
And undercoating, right?
You realize that Minnesota gets the only place that gets more snow than us is Alaska, right?
Oh, what about Montana?
We're actually the second coldest. We're the second coldest state in America.
By the foot. All right, listen. I have worked in the Arctic Circle. When I say snow by the foot, when you go in the house for dinner and you get up to come out to work in the morning, it is literally snowed 12 to 14 inches overnight. And the same thing happens day after day after day. Snow by the foot until you see it and experience it, you can't appreciate it. So when he says Minnesota has snow, and the only place that I've been where I've seen that is in the Arctic Circle. So I know what he's talking about.
You see what it is, like East Coast brothers don't understand it, because you know how we laugh at y'all. I remember DC, y'all got like 6-7 inches of snow and the whole shut down, right? Like the whole city of DC shut down because y'all got like 6 or 7 inches of snow. Y'all was so lost out there. They had to come out here, y'all maintenance people out there. they actually had to call out Minnesota people because 7, 8 inches is nothing out here. We get 14, 15 inches of snow. They don't even shut down the state government and schools until it's like over 10 inches of snow out here. So we really, like, you know what the biggest car is out here? Range Rovers.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got a Range Rover out here during the winter. So that's like the big thing out here. But man, once I hit the West Coast, man, that is my gift to myself. I'm getting myself a Porsche 911 Turbo, and I'm working my ass off to make this sale before the end of the year because that's just a little gift that I want to get to myself next year.
Yeah,
There you go.
911 turbos don't usually come down in price. They don't usually depreciate that much. They're usually pretty flat after maybe out.
I think they're like around what, 81,000 right now, 82,000.
Yeah, you're talking something with a lot of miles on it, but if you're talking about like a moderately mild one that's still in warranty, those things usually stay within their range. So you're better off.
The 911 turbos with if they've been maintained, like mileage, like they stay together pretty good.
If they have good record history, if they have a good history behind it, they're going to command a higher price.
See, I don't feel like a Porsche is an everyday car though. I feel like a Porsche is.
That's what it's meant for.
See, I always feel like a Porsche is a weekend car.
Yeah.
I've always seen this.
Come down here to Dallas.
You in Dallas? Who is that in Dallas?
Me, Ty.
Oh, hey, what up, Ty? Y'all been, yo, that's a city that I've been, my cousin keep telling me I should go visit Dallas. So I actually got Dallas on my list of cities to visit next year as well.
It's cheap.
All year round. McLarens, Porsches. You'll see everything on these highways all year round. They never put them up.
My girl, she told me she was out there, and she told me, she was like, yo, everybody got a Porsche out there in Dallas because she know how much I like Porsche. And she went out there. She was telling me, she was like, yes, a lot of black folks rocking Porsches out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be cheaper to live out there too, as opposed to the West Coast.
Hey, when they put that McLaren dealership out here, oh my God. I've never seen a McLaren, and then all of a sudden I'm seeing them everywhere now. Like
McLaren wants to get everybody inside of McLaren as much as possible, especially those who have Porsches.
What y'all think about the Tesla sports car? Any of you guys rode that electric sports car from Tesla yet?
No, that's not even out.
No, it's been out. They got this. It's been out.
You mean the older Tesla Roadster?
Yeah, the Roadster. Have any of you guys?
Yeah, that's not what everybody's waiting on. Everybody's waiting on the new one that's coming out.
Have any of you guys driven the Roadster though?
No.
No.
Yeah, I haven't driven the older one. I've heard a lot about it though. A lot of mixed opinions.
I've seen one guy own one in my entire life, and he worked at the country club that I used to caddy at back in the day.
Are you a golfer?
No, not really.
Okay.
I would like to hear what Paul thinks about it.
That Tesla Roadster. That's
Tesla?
It's a Lotus Exige. It's an electric Lotus. That's all it is.
Basically, yes.
Have you driven one, Ulysses?
No, not that one, man. Those are actually kind of hard to come by nowadays, man.
Yeah, they only made a few of them. It wasn't like they made a whole lot of them.
They're basically collector's items now because it's technically speaking the first Tesla.
So what do y'all think about Tesla in general? Like, what do y'all think about Tesla as a company? Do you like their product? Do you think they're viable?
Well, my whole thing about Tesla is they're the only company that makes an electric car that looks good and is fast.
So you think they're viable as a company? You think that their product is strong enough to continue?
Well, I didn't say all that. I just said they make something that.
Wait. Time out.
I'm not saying nothing.
I guess you haven't seen Fisker, the Karma. I'm guessing you haven't seen Neo. Okay, and I'm guessing you haven't seen the Volkswagen IDR. There are electric vehicles that are fast that look good.
Well, the Fisker Karma is a hybrid, though.
Do very well.
The Fisker Karma is one of the best looking sedans ever produced.
Now,
it still didn't do very well.
Has Fisker done any big sales yet, though? I heard about them.
No, Fisker didn't do very well. Like I remember when I was in Houston, I saw the first Fisker. The first Fisker that I seen was in Houston, and I seen a couple of people that was with him because it was like a new, like kind of like, exciting thing, the Fisker. but
Right.
the actual overall sales, they didn't do very well. They had to sell their company. Matter of fact.
The idea behind these electric vehicle companies is to sell them anyway, either sell the company or sell the technology.
So you don't think that Tesla wants to stand alone and compete with like the old blue bloods?
I think they do.
Because when I hear Elon Musk talk, man, I mean, the way he talks is like he doesn't plan on doing any kind of LBO situation. He talks as if he wants to actually replace the old school blue bloods.
Well, I think the problem with Tesla, is that the actual figurehead behind Tesla, I think he's intellectually over leveraged, and then as the company, Tesla itself is fiscally over leveraged.
Okay.
And so
no.
I think so.
But here's a question, though, Super Triz. Like, but here's a question, though, Super Triz. Are you really over leveraged when you're getting all those tax money, though?
No. I agree. Like, right, it's working out for. I'm not saying that it's stupid.
Are they viable?
What I'm saying is that they are over leveraged. If something happens, like some fluke happens, I don't know, some scandal comes out. I mean, there's so many things that can happen. But I mean, it's one of those things where, like, you know, in order to make it big and to make the headway they want to make in the automotive industry, in a short time frame, you have to over leverage yourself.
But I'm saying that, but see, the over leverage thing is kind of overstated, because you got to understand the government has been carrying them as far as feeling that they have a viable product. What I'm asking you is that, do you feel that their product is quality and viable beyond the next decade?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And you also have to look at the fact too that the reason why that you've had large government subsidies in this arena. The reason why is because, look, you have states that told Tesla, okay, well, look, you can't sell your cars direct to consumer. Okay, you see, so when you are, number one, they're leveraging a lot of renewable energy subsidies. Okay, they're literally one of the first companies to do it in much the way that they've done it. The only other companies that do it are like solar companies. The reason why Elon Musk went all in the way he did with Tesla is because he first did it with Solar City.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so fact of the matter is this: you'd have Biden in the United States right now. You'd have NIO in the United States right now. You probably have like about 4 or 5 other Chinese companies right now actually putting EVs into the U.S. market, because they've all passed DOT. They all passed DOT road crash standards and all that type of stuff. See, so they would have those cars in the market. So if you're talking about EVs as a whole, hell yeah, they're viable. Tesla on its
how much have you?
I was just
how
saying,
much set back by the trade tariffs from that happening?
Say that again.
How much of a setback is the trade tariffs from that happening? Like, how much did the trade tariffs set that back from happening?
Well, it wasn't. Well, the thing was this: the first round of tariffs that Trump issued basically put a moratorium on any Chinese EVs coming to the U.S. shores. You want to know why? Because the Chinese-made cars can come here and they'll start selling at $10,000.
Okay, so it'll be like when Harley Davidson was crying when the Japanese bikes started popping up over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So much like in the tech sector, where you have like Apple and companies like that basically saying, government, please do something about Huawei. Please do something.
Huawei. Okay.
Right, and all that. It's the same thing, but we're talking about the automotive sector. So the only people that have been able to play right about now is Tesla.
Now Tesla came out with a semi-truck
installation, because Tesla sells more of a premium product. They're not looking to price compete.
No, actually they are, dude. The Model 3 is the 3rd best-selling compact sedan in the United States.
The Model 3 is still a $36,000 base MSRP vehicle. So
no, after subsidies.
That's not bare bottom though. That's not bare bottom though.
That Tesla X looks pretty good. That SUV that Tesla got looks pretty good. Have any of you guys had a chance to test drive one of those?
Yeah, the Model X. Yeah.
My coworker has,
what did you think about it?
And I've driven that.
What did you think about it when you drove it?
I drove the Model 3. I drove the P190, and I drove the SUV. I don't care what number that is, because
I think it's called
my coworker, her husband bought one,
and they end up buying all three of them because they love this so much.
I like the doors on that one, on the SUV. I like the doors on that one.
Yeah, the doors are nice, but the actual drive it, like the drive, like all the Teslas, like it's totally different from driving a gas vehicle because when you first press on the gas, like the whole feel of it is like totally different. Number one, you get in the car, there's no engine sound. That's the weird part. And then like the engine doesn't start. It's almost like you get in the car, like the key, like it automatically is like a sensor key. Or you have the phone app and it senses your phone. You hit the phone and so you get in the car and like you just press a button and then you just start driving. It's totally weird.
It's an electric motor. You don't have to start anything.
But the motor is so, especially that the P190, the big sedan, like you talking about power. I mean, that car moves. Like when you hit that gas, like it will literally snap your neck back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they've been reprogramming them to make more power.
See, I was asking because, like, you know, Tesla is one of those companies that they're always in the news, and I like what their product looks like, and I just been hoping that their stock goes down next year because I want to get a stock, man, of that company, man.
Well, they keep trying to short Tesla, but the mere fact that it hasn't worked should tell you something about the viability of the company.
The stock has been in the 200s for quite a while. I've been trying to see if it'll go down to like, the 50s or something like that, so I can get a couple shares of that. But
no, that would never happen.
Yeah, I was just wondering what you guys thought because usually it's best to talk to regular folks about like a product or a service. If regular people really value a product or service, that's usually a good sign. Because like I was telling Super Triz earlier, you know, the government has already been holding their hand, so the overhead thing ain't really that big of a deal to me because the government is subsidizing them. But I just want to know if
they don't have any real competition.
But see, that's the issue.
So Fisker isn't legitimate competition yet?
No, Fisker is not competition, not right now.
No, you have to keep in mind that Tesla is a tech company first.
Hey, are any of y'all familiar with like a little pickup called the Subaru Brat?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now
bring it back.
When that truck came out, they made Subaru put little chairs on the back so they could classify it as a passenger vehicle because they didn't want the Japanese trucks were already, you know what I'm saying, on their ass already, selling like hotcakes, all them little hard body Nissans. And that's how dirty they played. That the Chinese and the Japanese and other people are willing to do whatever they have to do to get into this market, but I don't think that's happening anymore. I think they're just not going to allow people to compete.
Yeah. What do you mean? Yeah. Like, how do you mean exactly?
Like they literally had to put little seats. Like you go buy a Subaru Brat, it had little seats that were not even practical, but that's what classified them as a passenger vehicle. They couldn't classify it as a truck.
Are you talking about for the American markets or the global markets?
American.
No, for the American market. That's what I'm saying about the Chinese bringing all of their technology over here would pretty much swamp. You know what I'm saying?
When did that happen? What year did that happen?
It was back in the 80s.
Yeah, just back in the 80s. Now, Harley Davidson was trying too.
Do they still have that right now in 2019? Do they still have that standard in 2019 where they require that?
They don't make that.
Well, they don't make that car anymore.
They stopped making that car a long time ago.
Yeah. The Subaru Brat was like a Japanese Pookie.
Because I know I've been hearing a lot about the fact that the Trump administration is passing like a lot of tariffs on those companies.
Yeah. Well, this is what I mean. It's like I said, the first round of tariffs that Trump passed was an embargo on electric vehicles. Chinese cannot. There's like 3 or 4 companies that already have licenses to sell cars here in the United States. The cars are already DOT crashed. They're already road tested. They're approved. And then they slap the embargoes on these companies, and they cannot bring the cars in.
Yeah,
but that's not going to hold though. You listen, that tariff program, that was more of a political maneuver by Trump. That shit ain't going to hold more than another year or so. It ain't
No. There's another round of tariffs that's about to hit come September 1st. We just talked about this last night on the economics hangout.
Well, he was just trying to put pressure on American manufacturers to like keep their products in America. So that ain't. I don't believe.
No, those
No.
American cars sell. American cars sell well in China. This is
really?
Yeah.
Japan as well. Japan as well.
Hold on. So Mike, you said that American cars, because don't nobody in America want to buy no American cars. So
a prime example.
Yeah, Buick sell real good.
Buick in China.
Buick is like the Honda Accord or the Toyota Camry in China.
Wow.
They can't get enough Buicks. GM is making money hand over fist in China, and they've been doing so for years now.
Now, how is China? Now, how is China? Like, I did not know that, bro. Because
now the China market is a little bit different because what they do in China is they sell long wheelbase versions of some vehicles,
but
like for instance, like the Mercedes.
Do they put tariffs on American products?
Yes, they do.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
That's the problem, man. They're going back and forth with this trade war. It's not just. It's not omnidirectional, dude. It's going both ways.
Both ways. So yeah,
I did not know that the Asian economy like that. They like, because in America, no one wants an American car.
They see American cars as a form of luxury, as Western luxury. That's how they see it. Even though we don't like it, we would never buy it. That's the way they see it.
Bro,
it's kind of like seeing some regular white dude who's an incel over here. You know, over there he's a rock star. So
because I've been paying a lot of cars now. I've been noticing that like China, when you look at what they're doing, just from I hadn't looked at the micro level that you got some with the car shit, but just from a macro level and how they're like slowly reforming their economy to be more free market oriented, they're really catching up to the United States in terms of the size of their economy.
Of course they are.
Hey, I have a question.
It's like a sports car with leaf springs.
Are we gonna get back to 4 cylinders eventually?
Yeah, we kind of finished up. We kind of finished up on 4 cylinders. We spent like an hour on that.
I was going to talk about karting, but
question. Go ahead. I'm gonna jump in after you.
I just wanted to ask a question from Texas. Like, is the job economy really good out there in Dallas?
Yeah, we don't have state taxes. A lot of tech companies moving down here, and they leave in Austin. Here in Texas, it's a lot of incentives for companies to move here.
So when I come to visit Dallas, because usually when I go visit a new city, I just stay in a hotel, like one of the W hotel and whatever downtown that works for me. Like, is y'all downtown? Is it nice in Dallas?
No.
So it's not. So downtown ain't a good place to stay in Dallas?
No.
Okay. Where would you stay?
I'm just being honest.
So where would you stay on your first visit to Dallas? If you was your first visit, where would you stay at, like as far as hotels down there?
We got a lot of nice suburbs.
Okay, the suburbs.
Yeah, around. I wouldn't be inside of Dallas like that. You don't want to do that.
Like, what about that spot? Because SMU University where is that located in Dallas?
That's close to Dallas. That's in North. That's in North Dallas.
Okay, cool. All right, thanks, man.
I was going.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Mike.
No, I was saying, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was gonna say I watched the video of it was an older video for a little while back that they were doing an unveiling of the Tesla 2020 Roadster. They were saying 0 to 60 1.9 seconds. Elon Musk he had a lot of talk to say about it, saying he was going to put the smackdown on other auto manufacturers. That would include the Germans, obviously. Paul, your thoughts?
Okay, how long they gonna have this before they just get into autonomous stuff? Like, how long they gonna have it to where they just?
I hope that doesn't happen for a long time.
Yeah,
how much time we got to actually drive?
Let Paul answer the question first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
My thoughts are this: I am a gearhead first and foremost. So, bro, anything that Tesla is doing, I support it. I like it. I love vehicles. While I love the internal combustion engine, as I've said, automotive technology is about 50 to 60 years behind every other area of tech. So anything that Tesla is doing to move the goalposts forward, I fully support. I would love to see performance vehicles from Tesla. We already see what the Volkswagen IDR has done. We've seen what the Neo is doing. You have the Jaguar E-Pace coming. You have the Taycan. I mean, the electric vehicles are the future. So if Tesla is leading the charge, if they're a part of the charge, it doesn't matter to me. As long as vehicles perform, I don't care whether it's an internal engine or a battery. Just bring on the performance and I'm happy.
Paul, to your point about automotive technology being about 50 to 60 years behind everything else, I would argue that automotive tech is in a league of its own. I mean, like, you can't really compare it to like computer tech or anything else like that.
I would strongly disagree because the internal combustion engine was invented in Germany in what, the 1870s? And it really hasn't advanced much. The supercharger, in fact, the turbocharger was invented in what, the 1890s or the early 1900s. The supercharger was invented right around the same time. The only major innovations have been fuel injection and variable valve timing. And I know some would say direct injection, but direct injection is not actually new.
I thought
that actually goes back to the 1930s. It wasn't much wasn't done with it, so Ford just brought it back.
I thought it was supposed to be all about the lithium battery now.
Continuously variable transmission is a relatively new phenomenon.
Right, but that's transmission.
That's on F1 cars in the 90s.
What?
Also, one thing of note, when we talk about transmissions, I don't know if you guys are aware of that. They're introducing a two-speed transmission into electric vehicles to increase the fuel range, to increase the actual electric range by between 5 and 7%.
Interesting.
Are any of you?
I thought the lithium battery was supposed to replace all of that. I thought the lithium battery was supposed to replace all that.
It is replacing it. The problem is that the battery capacity is not exceeding that of gas-based vehicles right now. So the latest Tesla for 2020 only does about 390 miles or close to 400.
Now, where are they as far as because my understanding, like even just 5 years ago, Tesla said that they were going to have a very robust charge grid. Like, where are they at as far as their charge grid with the lithium batteries and all that?
Oh, do you mean the supercharger grid? So that's already been done. They done that years ago. But
my main gripe is that what we know is vehicles, the whole dynamic is going to change to where we looking at it as far as having performance, but I think we're going to be completely removed. Like the direction that I see this going is far beyond what we would like.
Now, what do you mean by that exactly?
What I mean by it is this could end up being something where you just walk out in front of your house, get into a box, and then just take off.
Yeah.
You said George, like you talking about the Jetsons.
Something that we would just be like, this is boring.
Yeah.
Like what this, they actually took an experience away from us. You know what I'm saying? That's
about that too.
How far? I mean, but we're talking like what? Okay, so I was listening to Tesla, and they were saying that they're coming out with like some semi trucks now. And I'm just wondering, are they just because sometimes you can't always believe what Elon Musk says. Like
they've been working on that for a long time.
I don't think we're gonna have an operator and machine relationship with travel anymore.
So you think that Elon Musk is just like he's just doing PR, or is he serious about these automated semis?
You have to keep in mind that Elon Musk is like Hulk Hogan, man. He runs around the ring, doing his thing, man, to woo the crowd. That's
yeah. See, that's the thing about Elon Musk. You never know if he's just like doing PR or if he's serious.
Yeah, don't always take everything that Elon Musk says at heart, man. That's So you think if you're really interested in where the market is going to go in terms of Tesla, man, just keep paying attention to their developments, not so much to what the PR says.
Right.
So with the semi trucks, like have they actually? I was just wondering if they have delivered any because I heard them talking about it, but I'm wondering have they delivered any of those trucks?
Elon Musk is the modern day equivalent of Thomas Edison. He is a salesman. Thomas Edison was not an inventor. He was a salesman, and he did so in an era of no internet and no media. It was literally other people inventing tech
And he
that
stole tons
he
of
took
inventions.
credit for.
Nikola
And
Tesla, he pimped Nikola Tesla bad, man.
yes, he did. So the point is, as Mike said, do not listen to what Elon Musk says. Just look at what is actually developed. Basically, anything that Elon Musk says, let it go in one ear and right out of the other. So,
hey, Paul, but can you see where I'm coming from? Where the technology is going to have to be suitable for somebody that is 18 and somebody that's 90. You know what I mean?
I understand where you're headed with that, but I'm of the opinion that what you're talking about, completely autonomous vehicles for transportation, I can see that for trucking. I can see that for public transportation, both road and rail. But I don't see it overtaking. I don't see us running around in autonomous vehicles like we saw in the movie I Robot, which is where we got that Audi R8 from. I don't see that happening anytime soon.
So, Paul, for rail, I heard you mention that you could see an autonomous, like fully autonomous situation happening for rail. So, do you think that a human being would like remotely be responsible for millions of pounds of, say, like a flammable fuel or gas as it's hundreds of miles away on the rail somewhere in the country?
We already have that now. I've seen that in person.
Where?
It's called the air train transportation system. It was built between JFK and the Long Island Railroad main depot in Jamaica, and it runs right over the Van Wyck Expressway.
I've been on that air train. I'm talking about like freight trains, like hauling very dangerous items.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So what's the difference between that passenger transportation and heavy commercial transportation?
I'm talking about in terms of like a risk, like an accident happening where somehow control is lost. And now you have, like I said, for example, millions of gallons of a flammable liquid run away.
Well, I don't know if you're, I don't know if you're aware of the fact, but cross-continental freighters, the ships, once they leave port, it's GPS and computers controlling the ships. Now, humans,
they still have a crew on it though.
And I understand that, but they're controlled. They're basically autonomous. So I hear what you're saying as far as the risk factor, but I don't see the people who are developing this tech viewing that as a limiting factor. Their mindset is, all right, we will design as much safety as possible into the system, but I fully see very soon, within say 10 to 20 years, road and rail commercial transportation being largely autonomous.
Well, I mean, they already have autonomous trains in Vancouver, Canada. I mean, completely autonomous. There's not even a conductor.
And we have those here in New York City. Only one, but it's here. And
wait. So New York City has like automated trains now?
It's at the airport.
They have one. It's
Atlanta has the
plane. You get off the plane, you go on this little train that takes you to a different part of the airport, and it runs itself.
Man, I hear a lot of people hating on New York, but man, I fucking love New York.
And it's 20 years old, bro.
I love
20-year-old tech.
Like, I don't know why people be hating on New York, but coming from the Midwest going to New York, man, I love New York City.
I'm right there with you.
The West Coasters.
They've never been here. That's why.
Because I've heard a lot of, New York City, but man, that city right there, I don't know if it's just like, coming from the Midwest and going there, but I fucking love that city, man. Like New York City.
I've gone to New York City from the Chicagoland area, and I love it.
Oh, I can't see who's talking. Who is that just said that?
Me, Ellis.
Ellis? Oh, okay. Yeah, see, I figured that's what it was. Like, maybe it's a Midwest thing, but for me, man, going out to New York City, I love New York City, man. That city
in the summer.
It's a fun city to visit, man.
All right. So we have to transition into the next section of the hangout, which is kart life.
Ooh.
Complex, you have anything you want to share?
Have you guys been seeing what I've been sharing while we've been chatting?
Yeah, I just want to ask you real quick, Complex. Do those carts have articulating suspensions?
No suspension.
Okay, that shit looks scary as hell.
Well, this is why I was when you were telling me about performance on track, and I was like, hey, are you sure about that? You ever been in one of these things?
And listen, I don't plan it. That shit look like it'll kill me, man.
Hey, this is the same guy who rides a Hayabusa.
Exactly. Exactly.
No,
You're talking
no,
about
that shit
riding
looks
a
scary,
bike
man.
in the
Like,
rain,
I've driven a go kart
man.
that's like, I think I drove I want to say it was a 25cc go kart, and I was like, man, this shit gonna kill me.
This is a guy who used to tow an M4 rifle in conflict zones.
Yeah, that went 200 in the motorcycle. Wait a minute, man. What am I hearing?
You're
Nah, man, something about this go kart, man. That shit look like that ain't safe, man.
Ain't none of it safe, man. None of it.
Nah, that don't look safe at all, man. Look at that seat, man.
What city has the
Automatic
best?
fail.
What city has the best go kart track in America?
In America, I mean, that's hard to say because I mean, there's tracks all over, man. Quite honestly.
I went to one in San Diego before, but I was wondering what's the best one to go to in America right now. Cause I had fun. I had fun when I did the go kart thing in San Diego.
Would you go to like an indoor track?
It was an outdoor track in San Diego.
Near San Diego, outdoor track near San Diego. I wonder where that
I don't even remember the name of this spot, man. But yeah, they had like a little go kart spot out there in San Diego that I went to one time.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. Like my favorite track, I would say for me, because I mean, this is just speaking from being in SoCal, man, or in California, is actually Buttonwillow. And Buttonwillow, it's like, so there's a kart track there, but what it is, it's like a world famous like road course circuit for like real actual racing, real cars. So there's a track for full size cars, and then there's a kart track that's there too. And so out of the kart tracks in California that I've been to, Buttonwillow is my favorite.
Now what city is that in?
It's in a city called Buttonwillow. So it's about 35 miles. Well, from LA, it would be about 90 miles, 100 miles.
Okay.
That's north of LA.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Hey, Complex. I'm 6'3", right?
Mm-hmm.
And I came across a cart that this guy's selling, and it's actually a longer wheelbase. It's a Tommy. I forgot the name of it, but it's
Tony. It's a Tony cart. Tony cart.
They call it a limo from what I read.
Yeah, limo.
Yeah, so if it's a longer car, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the guy he out of town on business, and I'm supposed to be looking at it at the end of this week. I was wondering, like, for me to start my son in karting, right? Mm-hmm. He's 3 right now, but he should be able to start around 5, right?
He can start at 3. You got to put him in a Bambino cart, like a kid cart.
Okay,
so start him out at like 3-4 years old in like a Bambino or a kid cart.
Wow.
Okay, so my question was for us to pretty much ride together. How would that work for me to like go?
Wait, there was a little bit of noise. Can you say that again?
I said how would that work for me to be in the car and him to be in the car? Like, is it any kind of like track that would permit something like that?
Yeah. I mean, usually the outdoor tracks, typically when you go to like an outdoor track and then you take your carts out there and stuff, and I'm trying to pull up a YouTube video that I can kind of just show you guys while we're talking about it. But yeah, typically when you go out to like an outdoor track, what they do is everything's broken up into sessions. Everything's broken up into sessions. So, you'll have like the shifter guys, they'll go out for 10 minutes. Then like, the 100cc guys, they'll go out for 10 minutes. Then like maybe juniors or novices, they'll go out for 10 minutes. And then they'll have like a section where it's just like the kids will go out. So if the kids go out, they'll let you as a parent go out with your kids. So like if you were in a car, and then it's kind of how I train my daughter. I just did it indoor. And I would say that if there's an indoor electric track, well, no, you wouldn't be able to do that because 3 years old, he wouldn't be big enough to do it. Like legally, he has to be 48 inches tall to do something like indoor. But like outdoor, you can put him in a Bambino car. He could be 3-4 years old. You could put him in one of those. So if you go out at the same time and you just have him trailing you, or you're running side by side or something like that, yeah, you could do that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Complex, I have a question.
Yeah.
Mike just broke up.
Yeah, your mic just broke up.
My bad. A minute ago, you had the Parolin Kart chassis on display.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How much does that cost?
I mean, all of them, you know, depending on like what you're getting the chassis spec for. Hold on, let me pull it back up. Depends on what you're getting the chassis spec for. So I'll bring it back up here. Let me share my screen.
And Complex, these are 2 strokes.
Yeah, you run, well, there is a 4-stroke class that you can run. You run it with a spec Briggs and Stratton racing engine. So you can run a 4-stroke spec racing engine on it. But yeah, typically these are going to be for 2-stroke.
So Briggs and Stratton, the lawnmower company?
Yeah.
Can I buy them with beta male coins?
I think Parolin might accept a beta. Let's check and see. I'll check their store and see if they accept beta male coin.
You call them beta male coin?
Yeah. See, this is a Bambino or a kit cart right here. So what this one will run is a little 50cc Honda.
Oh, something that'll fit me.
No. This is for his 3-year-old.
Yeah, I said that's something that'll fit me. I'm a little nigga.
You're extremely little, dude.
Oh,
to have that kind of voice.
How tall are you?
Who, me? I'm 5'8".
Oh.
You'd be in a regular size.
I'm 5'8" too.
5'8" ain't really little though. I'm 5'10", so
Hobbit.
I'm only like what 2 inches taller than you, Super Triz. If you was 5'3", 5'3" is like a little dude. 5'3" is
no, keep in mind that Super Triz still shops at Kid Foot Locker, so
yeah.
but Super Triz one of them dudes that he one of them like bodybuilder type dudes. So like he's like 5'8", but he always up in the gym and shit. So
yeah, I'm about to go to the gym later on tonight
this
too.
motherfucker like be in the gym and like all the time. Like whenever he does like a video, this dude is like, I'm in the gym.
Yeah, no.
So wait a minute, is that the Obsidian Kurt?
Nah, because if he's 5'8", Obsidian is like 5'6". So to me, a little dude is like 5'3" or under. If you 5'8", that's almost. I'm only like what 2 inches taller than Super Triz, and this dude is probably like what 25 pounds heavier than me.
Because you're still a shrimp compared. You're all shrimps compared to me.
Well, look, man.
What are we looking at? What are we looking at here, Complex?
Guide
us through everything you're doing.
Yeah. No. This is so. What Ellis was asking. So this is the Parolin chassis right here. This one you run a single speed 125cc motor. So the OK motors that you run, or a X30. And if you have this in the United States, it's an X30 motor by Iami. Those motors put out about 35 horsepower, I think it is. I think the OK motor is probably like 38. But this rolling chassis right here, you gotta look at how horsepower to weight ratio. This rolling chassis right here only weighs maybe like about 160, 170 pounds. Just like this. So do the math on the horsepower to weight ratio. 170 pounds to about 35 to 38 horsepower.
So you put me on that chassis, it weighs twice as much, and that doesn't include gas yet.
I mean, this is the fuel cell right here. I mean, you know, this can right here is only gonna weigh. When you fill it up, it's only like about 7 pounds, 8 pounds. And it's like one of the tricks that we do is like in order to, so like depending on the classes that you run, let's just say I run 100cc with this chassis right here. So my weight would be 365. So me plus the cart, everything has to weigh minimum 365 pounds. So I weigh 100. I'm 5'10". I weigh 150 pounds, right? So when you add it up, I still come in about 55 to 60 pounds light. So that means on the seat and around the chassis, I got to strap a bunch of weight in. And then what we do is once we get it dialed up to about 100, or about 363 pounds, I'll start filling up the fuel cell. And we'll do it on the scales, and then we'll fill it up until it hits 365, and then I'll mark the tank. So that means
150 pounds, you're like the tent on the car wheel.
You said what?
150 pounds is light, man.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I mean, if you're gonna be racing, dude, you can be a heavy person, but
like,
it doesn't help.
Like a jockey in the Kentucky Derby weight, because 150 at 5'10", man, that's kind of light, bro.
Well, I mean, like I said, for racing, when you look at the profile most race car drivers do, we're skinny.
Yeah, they're thin. They're
thin. Because the thing is that you want the least amount of weight as possible.
The fastest driver in the world was 5'9".
Yeah, look at Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, he's a small dude.
Yeah, because 5'10", 150, I'm like, what, 165? And I'm a pretty ripped dude. So if you 150,
you got to get that cardio in, King Sigma.
Yeah,
but Mike, I run like what, 15 miles a week. I'm about 165, and my body fat ain't no more than like 10%.
Yeah, but I bet you this much.
Bro, you got to lay off the money buns.
Yeah, but I'll tell you this much: if I put you in one of these carts, I don't think you could last 10 minutes in it.
Yeah, I don't know, bro, because I was a D1 track athlete, so.
No, it's different. No, it's different.
It's a whole different ballgame.
You know what?
Put it like this.
Okay.
You know what, Complex? I work out between 6 and 7 days a week.
Right.
I'm about 215 pounds. Now, there's an indoor electric kart track around the corner from me.
Mm-hmm.
And I've tried to ride on that. Like, I'm telling you, 10 minutes, my hands is so stiff and hurting.
You got finger pump.
Yeah, like, and I work out, but I'm telling you, like, it's a different type of physical.
I gotta put that to the test, because now, Super, you just went to the absurdium, because okay, you're 5'8", 215. That's a big difference between me being 5'10", 165. You're 5'8", 215. That's fucking like Mike Tyson size.
Okay.
I don't know. I think I could rock with that cart though, because
King Sigma, let me ask you something. Yeah. Have you ever experienced like sustained G forces on different parts of your body?
Yeah.
And what?
I would say, because like when I was, back when I did like a lot of tumbling, they had like this simulation machine that we used to do doing tumbling. And I was big time, like, I used to do tumbling and shit before I got into like.
Wait, you mean like running and flipping and stuff?
Yeah, no, it was a machine. It was a machine that would like turn you upside and down, that you would lock yourself in.
That is not racing.
Let me put
it. All I'm saying is that 5'10", 150, man, that is hella light, man.
No. Look.
Oh, what's your point, though?
You couldn't be more wrong.
I'll tell you like this, King Sigma. I'll put $100 on it. If I put you in this Tony Kart with that OK motor right there, right? If stints are typically 10 minutes, if you would even last 5 minutes, because you're scared to shit because of how fast it goes. That's the first thing. But if you were able to stick it out for at least 5 minutes, I guarantee you, your first stint, here's what you'll do, and I'll put money on it. You will bring the cart in, and you'll be taking off the helmet. I'll go, what's wrong? And dude, you'll have all kind of mucus and shit coming out of your nose, and you'll just be coughing up phlegm.
Now, okay, I take you up on that bet, but here's another question. If I get out the car and I tell you, let's do it again, what are you gonna do?
What I'm saying is this: if you've never been in this, the first thing that's gonna happen, and dude, you gotta understand, dude, part of the business that I do, running our karting team and stuff like that, there's guys that come to me and they go, hey man, I want to buy one of those, and I'll say, all right, you want to come do a track day? And they're like, yeah. So you get like 5 of their buddies, they all pony up about $250, and then we come out to the track, right? And I prep the carts up, and then they get out there. And dude, without fail, if you don't do this regularly, because of the vibration, the first question I think it was that
Lex asked me was, is there a suspension on this, or was it maybe a Super Triz asked me if there's a suspension on it?
That was me.
Yeah, look, if you look at the front right here, you'll notice here's the wheels, here's the front spindles right here, and they're attached directly to the chassis. There's no suspension here in the front, and in the back, there's no suspension there either. You see, so everything that you feel on the road goes right up through the chassis into this goddamn seat, right through your ass and into your lungs. So that means that anything that's in your body that doesn't belong there is going to come out.
So yeah, I didn't know that like weight was so relevant to kart racing. I knew it was relevant to like any other sport, but I never really thought about weight in relation to like kart racing. That's
well, this what I'm. You're talking horsepower to weight ratio. So that's going to then determine the G loads that you're gonna experience.
So are you at the so a 5'10" person is 150? Like, is that like the ideal weight for someone that's doing that kart racing like that?
I mean, there's people of all sizes. It really just kind of depends on the class that you're running, what the weight requirements are. Because something like if you go into like, yeah,
Complex, you're forgetting that the one key concept or one key aspect of the G-forces, like if you've never driven a car with slicks, you haven't felt those type of G loads.
Yeah, you haven't,
because those cars got slicks and it's on the track.
Yeah,
and your neck is going to hurt trying to keep your head stationary. Listen, Complex said he would bet you $100. I would put up $1,000. You won't last 5 minutes.
Your first stint, you won't last 5 minutes, dude.
Just remember that y'all made those bets, because if I ever get out there, I'm gonna definitely take a Complex.
Dude, it's not happening.
Just like they're always looking to collect.
Paul, just remember what you said. You said that I will bet 1,000. Complex kept it at 100. Now, if I come out there to Cali and I say Complex, you know what? This sounds. I love challenges. I'm gonna go ahead and do this challenge. But you know what? I'm at least do this much.
I'm putting money on that bet too. I'm telling you, King Sigma. Listen, I rode an electric cart nowhere near the power.
Super. You said 1,000 as well?
No. I'm not betting 1,000. But listen, let me tell you.
Because hold on, let's get the money right first.
100. I got
100. So Complex said 100. Super Triz said 100.
No, so okay. Super Triz said 250. Super Triz said 250.
So we had 1350. So if I come out to Cali and I hit up but let me let you know though. I'm gonna make now. He said that we're the same height. So he's basically telling me I need to lose about 15 more pounds. So I'm gonna make sure that when I come out there, I'm gonna be around 150, 155. So I got Paul on the hook for 1,000.
No. You can drive this at whatever weight you want. I'm saying in terms of in a sanctioned race with the classes, what they do is for each class specification, they have a weight, a minimum weight or a minimum weight. So the kart
Complex.
Yeah.
Complex. It's not about King Sigma. It's not about the weight. It's the physical conditioning for auto racing. Your body does not have physical conditioning specifically for auto racing. All right. It's like, all right, me, I live in a gym. I work out 7 days a week. A person who does yoga, who does gymnastics, if they come one day and try to do my workout, they're fit. They work out, they're going to collapse dead because their body is not conditioned for what I do. Your body is not conditioned for racing. You're looking at it as you work out, you're fit, you used to do this, you used to do that. But your body is not conditioned for that.
It's a whole different type of conditioning, bro.
And I accept that, but I'm just saying that you do understand that there's always those outliers. So what
that's bullshit. not motorsport.
Complex. It's not bullshit though, because I didn't put up no money. Super Triz put up money, Complex put up money, and Paul put up money. So check this out though. If I take you up on the bet, Complex, guess what? I have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
No.
The bet is you putting up money too.
You have 100 to lose.
No, hold on, no Complex, no, Super Triz. You don't get to say I put up money because you made the offer and I accepted it. I didn't put up anything. All I said is I want to take the test.
Oh, come on, man. That's not a bet.
Spoken like a politician, full of shit.
Come on,
Paul
man.
put up 1,000. Super Trends put up 250. And
Wait.
put up 100.
Wait. And I have to pay the money to trailer everything out to the track. I got to pay for the fuel.
Yep, because that's the agreement that you agreed to.
Wait.
Not even worried.
So Complex, can you explain what's going on in the video right here with that dash LCD?
Yeah, that's
Exactly
basically your computer right there. So what that does is it's giving you your lap time. So it's all GPS track. That's a Micron 4. So it's giving you your track time. It's also giving you because he's running a KZ motor. So this is a water cooled 125cc shifter. This is a shifter cart right here. So it's going to give you your water temps. It's going to give you the engine temp. It's going to give you the RPM. Gives you the speed, lap time, and you can see the data that he has on there. And then what you could do is you can pull that off of the Micron. And if you have it synced to your GoPro, what you then do is you put it into the Micron software, and it'll sync all the engine telemetry with the footage. See, so you'll know where your shift points are in looking at the video, right? It has everything lined up. There's some videos where dudes actually have the telemetry on the video so that you can see where they're shifting and how fast they're going at whatever points on the track. So, and what that does is by reviewing it, you can see how high up you are on your engine revs, on your entries into the turn. And basically by looking at matching your engine revs with your point of entries on the turn, you can see where you might actually be leaving like a tenth or two on the table because you're braking too early. Right, by looking at where the engine curve or the power curve is at upon entry into the turn, you're like, you know what, actually I'm coming in here just a little too soon. I might be able to stay on here just a little bit longer. I got like another cart length or so that I can stay on it before I can brake. So this is what your Micron gives you.
Are you looking at that? Are you looking at that dashboard while you're driving, or is it just there for show?
No. You're looking at it. You're looking at it. See, because like you see the green lights right there. That's a shift light. So once it starts to hit into the yellow, what you do is in the Micron, you set your shift point. So on a KZ motor, these things rev up to about 14,000 RPM. You're going to shift. You're getting the tail end of the usable power band is going to usually come in at maybe like around 12 or 13,000 RPM. So what you would do is you go into the Micron and you set your shift points at like maybe 12.5, right? So now when the Micron's picking up the RPMs, the shift meter goes from green to yellow. And then if you get on up into like 13, then it'll hit the red. And then it's just like, dude, shift, you know? So but when you're looking, the way you look, when you look forward, you don't necessarily look at the Micron, but you see it.
Man, is that too complex?
Huh?
Is that you driving?
No. This no. This is just a video I'm picking up to show you.
Oh, because whoever that is smoking.
Okay.
No, this is dude.
Complex.
Yeah.
How much would it cost for a new person if they was interested in getting into this hobby, like to buy or build a car? How much would that person be looking at financially?
Okay, so if you're talking about like this cart right here, this setup, this dude's running, he's running a KZ setup. So this is basically like on the high end of sprint karting. So that motor alone is $7,000.
Okay.
Okay, the rolling chassis as it's set up for shifter with front and rear brakes, you're looking at probably like about $5,000. So
complex.
Also,
Those side pods are those for safety or are those counterweights?
No. That's safety. Those are strictly, they're all mandated. So like the front, rear, side pods, all the bumpers and everything. And see, it's gotten to the point now where a lot of this stuff now is thrown in wind tunnels, you know, with as far as the front bumpers and bearings and what have you.
Really?
So, well, dude, like the speeds, like, so now he's getting up to speed here and I really can't look at his Micron. I can only see his lap times, but down this straight right here, he's probably hitting about 80, 85 before he gets to the end right here.
That's insane. That is insane.
Yeah. I mean, dude, that KZ motor is putting out like 45 horsepower.
I thought it just said 112 on the back straight.
That's kilometers. Now,
Okay.
because Gilles Mertens, he's a European driver.
But 80 miles an hour on this
On a sprint track
feels it probably feels like you're doing $150 or more.
Well, dude, this layout is probably only 3/4 of a mile long.
Really?
Yeah, it's sprint tracks. Like I'm going to show you guys some super karts in a minute because the King Sigma thinks that, dude, I'm telling you right now, you got to understand with driving. See, people say, okay, well, are race car drivers athletes? Fuck yeah, they are.
Yes,
See,
they are.
You use what it is that you use a different set of muscles. You use all the muscles under your top muscles. That's what you use your reactive muscles.
Once you actually ride on one of these things, like even a low power one, like that's what I'm saying. Like when I saw this car, I was like, hell no, I'm not getting on that shit.
Yeah, electric carts. Like you said, your fingers were hurt. Dude, electric carts will give you if you don't do this regularly. Yeah, you get into that, man. You get finger pumped. Your wrist.
On top of that, like when I got off, right? Not only was my hands hurting, like no, actually during the race, I wanted to quit. I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to quit during the race, but I still had a couple more laps.
And
once I got off, I was like, thank God this shit is over. And then not only that, my hands was hurting, my ass, my back, and then I was nauseated.
Yeah,
were you putting the death grip on the steering wheel? Because
yeah, that's how you get finger pumped.
A lot of people do that. You have to train yourself. Don't put that death grip on the steering wheel.
Yep.
You have to relax.
I was trying to win.
This is why I keep telling King Sigma, he wouldn't last 5 minutes. Your body you would be a wreck. Like I said, all the phlegm, any phlegm, any mucus that you have in your
complex. But here's the thing, though. I have nothing to lose by finding out. You got 100 to lose.
You're gonna take the bet. That means that you gotta put the money up in the event that
Paul Bryan got a stack to lose. So I'm looking at 1350. So that's 1350.
Listen here, bro.
I'll take my.
What are you putting?
Listen. This is an expensive hobby right here. Okay.
Well, I don't have to worry about the cost because y'all gonna be paying for it. You are subsidizing it.
Nah,
this subsidizing it.
You gotta
Sigma, I've been wanting to ask you something.
What
is the longest roller coaster you've been on?
I would say Six Flags Chicago, the Zipper, probably.
Okay, well, I've never heard of that, but it's probably like what, a minute long, 2 minutes long?
Yeah, probably like 45 seconds, 60 seconds. Yeah.
Exactly. This is like they were saying 5 minutes of sustained G.
10.
No, stint is 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
10 minutes of sustained G forces, which is probably may or may not be on what that tumbler machine you were talking about.
Yeah.
Like the first time I did these go-karts, my throat was dry. I had stiff muscles. My arms were.
Here's the question, though. Were you offered $13.50 to do it?
Oh,
I don't have to be offered $13.50.
It's a bet.
Incentives are important in human behavior. So the fact
yeah, but I'm intrinsically motivated to do karting.
The fact that the brothers put up $13.50, I'm willing to do that 10 minutes for $13.50. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'm just trying to tell you, this is probably going to be like.
So here's the question, though. Here's the question, though. If puking, here's the question, though. If puking,
a bet works.
If puking and shitting on yourself, look it. If puking and shitting on yourself, you're gonna get paid $13.50. I think that will give you an incentive to at least give it a try. That's all I'm saying. I'm willing to give it a try.
Make a bet.
Hey.
Make a bet.
You can't be puking and shitting yourself. You have to take it and not be phased by it. That was a stipulation.
No, that was not a stipulation because no. Hey, we can rewind. No,
you're like, if I'm good, then
hold on. Super Transit. If I shit on myself after the race, if I puke on myself, that don't got nothing to do with the cash payout. That means that I got
Complex.
Yes.
Do you have any further karting footage that would be?
I do. I'm about to step it up another level, man.
Yes, please.
Now we're talking 250cc supercars.
Notice how they move.
Okay, Complex. Let me ask you this: with the shifter carts, how many speeds is the transmission? Number one.
6 speeds.
Okay, so now we got a 6-speed transmission. Now you got to actually take your hand off the steering wheel to shift.
Yeah.
Now that's the scary part.
You think that's scary? Okay, these guys are running. This is at Aston.
You can't be 215 and talk about being scared, bro. You got to stop that, man.
Listen, man. Listen, I ride motorcycles, but I ain't riding none of this shit. I'm telling you right now, I'm not riding that shit.
Man, I mean, it's King Sigma. I pray for the day, man. We link up. You come out to Cali, bro.
Complex. But
I'll take you out to the track, man.
Your supporters tried to move the goalposts.
No, you trying to move the goalpost.
I did not move the goalpost. Look it. I said that for me, the incentive of 1350 is enough for me not to care if I throw up on myself, if I faint, if I shit on myself. And then all of a sudden, cats want to move the goalpost like, oh, well, if you throw up on yourself, they don't count. Nah, no.
What I said,
all y'all did is say,
what I said was, after 5 minutes, you will be out of the cart, the helmet will be off, and you'll be over in the corner coughing up whatever you've had.
And I said to you, I said, what happens if I'm that exception and I get out the race and I say, let's do this again, Complex? Then
yeah. And what I'm saying, and this is the reason why I said, no, I'll put $100 on it that you won't. Now, here's the thing.
Right. We already got a contract. So if I come out to Cali,
that contract is contingent upon you actually finishing the stint.
Exactly. No, I agree with that part.
Well,
but what I'm saying is that it don't matter how. As long as I finish the race, dude, if I throw up on myself, it don't matter though.
Look. I am not going to agree to a one-sided bet. Now that's just disingenuous of you.
No, that was disingenuous of you because you made the offer.
Wait,
and hold on, complex. A complex, a contract requires an offer and an
Can we
exception.
keep this focused on karting for a
Yeah, look at the screen real quick.
Circle back around to any and all bets. Let's keep it focused on karting.
Okay, now look at this. They're warming up the tires. Now warming up the tires. I'm ready to quit right there.
No. Well, you haven't seen nothing. Wait till they drop.
Super Triz was a killer. And now he's talking about he's afraid of the go-kart. Come on.
Man, listen. My stomach is sick right now.
Look. Okay, look. I'm gonna tell you now. Wait till they drop the green flag. And you watch these dudes. Because what I just showed you was 125 cc, and that was on a sprint track. See, so that's on an
actual like a lot of fun to me, man. It looked like a lot of fun.
Oh, it's fun. It's fun, but trust and believe, this isn't like Bullwinkles or K1 indoor. And Super just told you, dude, like the electric carts, they'll give you a workout. Those will give you a workout. This shit right here, no, this is legit motorsport, dude.
It looks like, but what I'm saying is that you're not understanding. For me, this looks like a lot of fun, bro. It looks like a lot of fun.
I get it, but what I'm saying is, for somebody who does this stuff competitively, I mean, there's a fun factor to it, but this is a sport, so it's fun.
I want to get my son into this. I don't want to get him into like football or nothing like that, baseball.
No, man. No, I'm a big. See, because look, I gotta tell you something, man. Like the karting community out here in SoCal, as far as brothers, is real small. But dude, we all put it down. Dude, we all stay on the podium. See, so to me, it's like brothers can do this just as good as we do anything else.
Yeah, and that's why I want my son to get involved with this, man. I wish I was into something like this at a young age.
Now, I just need y'all to. These are 250cc supercars right here. This is on a full-size track.
Man, you a lie. This is some Formula One shit right here.
No, these
motherfuckers is going.
Just looking at the wings.
So we know Super Triz is not signing up for this one.
Hell nah. I'm telling you that right now.
I gotta be real with you, man.
Man, that shit look hella fun to me. That's all I'm saying.
Nah, I know better.
Yo, these dudes are watch. You're gonna see them down on the other side of the track when they come sweeping through the front straight. They're clipping 160.
Yo, wait. You said those cars are up to 160 miles per hour?
These dudes are doing 160 on this track in this race.
Go-kart.
Dude, I'm dead ass serious, dude. They're doing 160. You'll see when they come down on the other side of the track when they're about to hit the across the start finish line.
I thought it might have been like 75 miles per hour max.
Oh my God, what? Yeah. The other cart that I was showing you on the kart track, he was going that fast. Look,
hey, what is the organizations? Do they have something like the SCCA or like?
No, look how fast these dudes are going.
Man, I didn't think that was over 100 though.
Dude, they're doing like 150, 160 through here. Look, right through here.
That's crazy.
These dudes are flying.
So what happens when they crash at 150?
You get hurt.
Or you just die at 150.
Yeah, or you die.
I mean,
but that's
yeah,
racing.
you see the dude squiggling. The rear end's getting loose under braking and stuff. No, these dudes are flying. And you gotta understand too. Look at the size on it compared to the track.
How much does the car weigh a complex?
These right here are going to weigh about. These are going to weigh. They're a bit more because there's more to them. There's more bulk to these cars. So these cars typically weigh about 250 pounds with the motor.
Man, that seems like wow, 100 miles per hour.
Right, and now, but these are 250cc motors, so the output on these is about around between 80, 90 to 100 horsepower.
How long have you been doing kart racing?
I started karting when I was a kid. I started karting when I was a kid, and then there was like a long span of time where I didn't do it, and then I got back into it about 5-6 years ago.
Hey,
160 miles an hour in a go-kart.
So for you to so what kind of training do you do to be in fit for this kind of racing? What kind of training do you do?
No, it don't matter, King Sigma. You already ready. You don't need to know no training tips.
Hey, no, hold on. Super Triz. Why you hating on my strategy right now?
I'm a hater.
Super Triz is a hater. Like, see, I'm all about information gathering. So I'm asking the brother Complex, what do you do to train yourself for the go-kart?
He eat donuts. He eat donuts and pork rinds and Kool-Aid.
I'm an information gatherer. You dig?
Okay. Here we go. Here's Paul. Here's an onboard, and we've got telemetry here. So we've got our G forces, right? We've got our lap counter. We've got our RPM. We've got our kilometers in terms of speed, and he's running this shit at Spa.
Okay, so now my question is, I want to see what this thing pulls through Eau Rouge.
Oh, this is what I'm saying. Like,
hey, Complex.
Believe me when I'm telling you, King Sigma, we got telemetry here. You're gonna see this.
Complex. Complex. Can you maximize the screen so I can read the G forces better?
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah, this is Eau Rouge right here, but he just came onto the track, so. You give him a couple laps, and he'll be gunning it all through here.
Right. So he's already pulling 1G, doing 152 miles an hour through.
And this is a warm-up lap.
On his warm-up lap.
I like the fact that they got you could do car racing for like 200 hours. I like that.
Wait, say that again.
No, I was like, after you told me about the situation, I looked it up and I found out that you can actually do go-kart. And you can do actual car racing in Las Vegas for $200 an hour. So, I'm coming for my money.
Las Vegas. Yeah, Las Vegas Speedway.
Super Triz, I'm coming for my bread, bro. And when I show up, I don't want to hear no fucking excuses.
Now, he just pulled 1.7 Gs.
Okay.
Look, this is still the warm-up lap, dude.
Because Super Triz, I'm most likely to see you first because I'm probably coming out to Vegas next year. So, when I come up, don't make no excuse. Just pay up, bro.
No. You're going to go to Complex Design Track under his
circumstances. I'm coming to see you first, bro.
Y'all have to take a trip to L.
I'm coming to see you first, Super. So don't make no excuses. Don't blame it on Complex.
Okay. No. This is what we're going to do. You're going to come to Vegas, and then I'm going to drive you to LA because it's going to be about 3.5 hours. And we're going to go see Complex.
That sounds good. I like that. So we go keep that one on deck. We keeping that one on deck.
Paul, so yes, he just clipped 200.
And bring Paul too, because Paul he bringing a stack, so bring him too.
No training.
We go. I don't care. Paul is. He said he was in the Arctic Circle. We go into the Arctic Circle to get Paul.
I don't want to hear
it. He just pulled 2 Gs.
He pulled 2 Gs, and then Paul he clipped 210 kilometers. He let's see here. So 215, 216, 217, 220.
Yeah,
220 kilometers.
About what, 110?
And that's in traffic on the warm-up lap.
Yeah.
Looks like a lot of fun to me.
Okay.
That shit looks so fun. It looks so fun.
No. Like I said, it's fun, but it's fun like driving a Porsche on Spa is fun.
If it wasn't fun.
You know what I'm thinking about? No, Complex. Do these supercars, do they have a suspension on this one?
No.
See, Complex, you didn't answer the question though. Complex, what's the workout for a kart driver?
No, 0.
Sigma, your arms are gonna fall apart regardless.
No,
you're good, King Sigma. You're good. Hey, Paul.
So here's the question though: if my arms are gonna fall up anyways, he should have no problem sharing his training secrets.
No, it doesn't work that way.
Hey, Paul.
You said you can walk right on.
72 hours straight.
I don't want to hear your BS now.
Hey, Paul.
Paul, we coming to yo, me.
I don't want to hear your BS.
When me and Super Trees come up,
walk on right now.
When me and Super Trees come to pick you up, we stopping at Wells Fargo, and you just get that $1,000. That's your concern.
Hey, so your concern is
so complex. I'm asking you again. What's the training program that you use to train for your go-karts?
Full of it. You're good, dude. You're good. Just come on out.
No. You said I wasn't good, so you can't say I'm good now. What's your training program?
I'll help you out, okay? You just eat 20 bags of Cheetos, and that's it.
Nah, I ain't doing that. I'm good. I barely eat junk food now, so I'm definitely not doing that.
You better start.
You know what? You ain't 5'10", 150 eating fucking Cheetos. Stop it, bro. Stop it.
Oh, hey, whatever works for you, fam. I know it works for me.
I'm a steak and eggs person right now, but I don't like to lose bets. So you tell me what you're doing to stay at the right weight for your go-kart. Because when me and Super Triz pull up on Paul Bryant, we pulling him up to the Wells Fargo, then we can see
Paul. Stop. Paul knows what this is about. He knows.
Paul don't bank at Wells Fargo.
Just stop, man. Just stop. All right, stop. Because you've now basically admitted, because now you understand what we were trying to tell you. You cannot walk onto a track tomorrow and make this happen.
Run this at 13,000 RPM, 225 kilometers.
It takes physical fitness and training that you do not have.
Audience. Now, being fair, now have y'all noticed the way that Super Triz, Complex, and Paul Bryant have moved the goalposts?
Oh, cut it out, man.
My God.
Have y'all seen the way that they moved the goalposts? They have totally. They not only moved the goalposts, they reinvented the whole game. They didn't have none of these clauses. They didn't have none of these clauses.
See, they have the playbook. You can always go back and watch the video.
From a woman, not from a man. Stop. Come on.
Yo, they moved the goalpost like 10 times already, bro.
Ain't no extra clauses. The only clause is if you don't make it, then you owe us the money.
Now, Super, you didn't move the goalpost. But Paul has been moving the goalpost the whole time.
No.
Hey guys, we got 10 minutes before we.
Hey, check it out. Hey, Paul. So you see his lap time, right? 2:28.89, right?
Yeah.
So that means one lap took 2.5 minutes. I wouldn't give you 3 laps at Spa on a supercar.
That's insane.
You couldn't hack 3 laps in supercar, and I'll tell you right now, that would also be continued. You can't pussyfoot it on this track either.
Oh, but here's the thing though. But complex. Notice how all of a sudden you got on some trade secrets type shit though. I asked you a straight question. I said, hey, complex. Hey,
wait, stop. Time out.
Well, complex is an ADOS, so he can't share that with you.
Hey, Paul Bryant.
Now we got the you see what I'm saying? Like now we got the ADOS stipulation.
Hey, Paul Bryant, you have to understand, we're dealing with a future lawyer here. So we're not going to win this argument with him.
No. The way you win it is you have to actually get on track and do this. So what I'm saying is, dude, put up or shut up. I'm not going to give you straight
complex. The audience is listening.
Come on out here.
I asked Complex for a gentleman. I asked him a gentleman inquiry. I said, hey, Complex, what's a training tip? He told me fucking go eat Cheetos. Are you serious?
No. Ellis told
go eat Cheetos.
No, I told you that.
I didn't tell
him.
I didn't tell you that.
Complex.
So make sure you get it right.
Is it like a sanctioning organization like the SCCA
Yeah. So on the national level, it's SCUSA. It's Supercarts USA. So we run their regional stuff out here, the California Pro Kart Challenge. So we run that, and then in at the late October, the last week of October, first weekend in November, we'll be running Supernats in Vegas. So they run that in the parking lot.
3.7 Gs on the lateral acceleration.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah. And if you notice, he's wearing motorcycle leathers.
Dude,
He's not wearing.
3.7 G's under lateral
complex?
acceleration.
What month is your race in Vegas complex?
That's the Super Nats. That's in. I think it's October 30th. October 30th. That weekend of October 30th through November 1st.
Did you qualify for that event?
I'm not going to be running it this year.
Oh, okay.
No. The team that I run with will be there. I'm not going this year. I'm work and my daughter and I'm not. You have to plan that out like some months.
Complex. Listen, I can run laps all day on the Nürburgring, the hardest racing track in the world.
Mm-hmm.
No problem, because I'm in a car, in a vehicle. A go-kart, no, sir. I can run laps around the hardest racing track in the world. I love doing it. That's why I go out there. That's why I split time now. But go-kart, no. No,
dude, this is
absolutely not.
This is 13. Paul, this is 13,000 RPM. He's at 200. He's been clipping 225 kilometers. There's no suspension on this thing.
Which is, I want to say 120 miles an hour.
Let me look it up.
200 is 120.
Right.
200 is 120. So what's 225?
220. So 220.
It's probably 1/3 or one.
Right. Yes.
About
130 probably.
Yeah. In a go-kart. Not a car.
250cc go-kart. Look, you got to understand, dude. You take cars on this track, and they don't average the same speed this dude's averaging.
Dude, this is a Formula One track. This is Spa-Francorchamps.
It's Spa, yeah.
This is a Formula One track.
Yeah. What's
especially that main straight.
visible to me from watching this video is like you can just see like the drivers getting beat up big time, man. Yeah, like you can literally see that. Like the speed wouldn't scare me. I mean, I'm used to running fast bikes, but the way he's like on the ground, he's basically getting beat up. You can look at the way he's getting thrown around.
Here, King Sigma. I'll give you a trade secret. Wear a rib cage protector. No. Here's the reason why. You see the G loads over here? Now, do you know what happens with a lot of guys when they don't wear rib cage protectors and they're in the seat, but so the car's going in one direction and the G load is pulling them in a different direction. What literally starts to happen, dude, is your ribs start to get pulled apart inside your chest. So you have to wear a rib protector. Right? It has two shoulder straps, and then it's like this kind of like this Kevlar thing that's shaped like your rib cage. It goes around your ribs, and then you have to take the Velcro strap and pull it. And what it does,
2.3 G's.
2.3 G's, dude. It keeps your chest from basically tearing apart inside.
Okay. I think Formula One.
Actually, I never knew that like go-karts could go above. I definitely didn't know they could go above 70 miles per hour. I did not know that. That's real. Wow.
You're probably looking at getting a Hans device too.
No, I wear a mini Hans. I wear a mini Hans, dude. Yeah.
That's fucking
Hans
crazy.
is actually very important.
Yeah, it's
the head and neck
for your head and your neck. Yeah. So you got to wear like you could wear a full Hans or a mini Hans on your neck, and then you if you're gonna do 100 cc and up, you need a rib cage protector.
Dude,
so that
the takeaway here should be that professional racing drivers are athletes.
They're athletes.
They have to train their body for G-forces and loading and stresses that people who don't do this, they have no idea.
So what is the grand prize for this contest in Vegas? Like, what is the grand prize?
Well, the Supercars race, that's the biggest race of the year for SCUSA. So it's cash payouts for that. You know, and typically a lot of those guys, what they end up doing is they usually end up winning like a test with like a Formula 2 or like a F4 team, for example. Like now you move up to the next level in motorsport, where you're dealing with larger single-seater race cars. And so typically those dudes who run those teams, if you can race one of these, or if you can race a shifter kart and win on a national level, then you're like one of the very few dudes who could really just naturally hop into a single-seater race car and bang the gears on that thing and just run it with no problem. Like this dude right here could get into like a Formula 2 or Formula 3 car, and he'll throw that thing around this track.
2.8 G's through
2.8 G's.
3.2 G's.
So is this big on the West Coast? Is like kart racing really big on the West Coast?
Yeah, we got kart tracks all over the place. Yeah. I run in like three different clubs.
Gentlemen, it has been a pleasure. I am gonna check out.
Yeah. I know we gotta shut it down.
Brian, you have a good one, man. We gonna be come see you one day. One day.
No, you know what? Wait, time out. If you want to come see me, then you have to come see me in Germany on the Nürburgring.
Oh shit! See, I didn't know you was in Germany. I thought you was out on the West Coast too.
No. He's at the Green Hell.
But hold on, but Germany got cash. But Germany got Cash App, right?
No, they got Deutsche Bank.
So we got Deutsche Bank. We can transfer that through Cash App. We good.
You're not.
Nürburgring will try to kill you.
Your mouth is writing checks. Your ass just can't.
But here's the thing, though, Brian. My ass don't got to cash a check because I didn't offer that. You offered the cash, and I accepted.
Here we go.
No, we offered a wager. A wager. That's what we offered.
No. Hey, Super Triz. You don't get to walk it back, bro. You can't walk it back.
Nothing back. You offered a wager.
All right.
Offered a wager, but here's what it's not. Offer and accept.
All right, we're shutting this down. We're shutting this down. Yeah, thank you all for joining us, man. Hit the like button if you have not already done so. Hit that notification bell so you get all the updates from the Black Brain Trust and community posts. And we are out. Peace and shalom.
Peace.
Peace.